Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
You're listening to The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
I'm very excited about the project. I'm very excited about the team in Carolina. You know, they've been a tough team to play against in the past. I like all the young players that are there. And, you know, the interest that Carolina has shown was something that, you know, obviously helped a lot with the decision making. So it made me very excited.
It's the Adam Gold Show. How you doing? Yes, we negotiated the week. It is a
Brian.
There you go. Victoria, she's here.
Meow meow meow. It's also Slurpee Day.
Did you just meow?
I know the where they shoot off the things. It's
like
a club thing.
Okay. I really thought you just said meow.
Meow meow meow. Is this what is that, Feast commercial? Remember back in the day, the Meow Mix? They did that in commercials.
Yeah, they sang. They meowed in song.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a Friday. Let's go. But no, it's 7-Eleven. So they I think they give out Slurpees on 7-Eleven.
I don't know if they give them out or not. We don't have 7-Elevens here in the Triangle.
Yeah, we do.
We do?
Yeah, there's a couple of them. There's one on Lewisburg Road that I pass every single day.
Really?
Yeah.
My fault.
Yep, there's one there. I want to say there's others, but that's the only one that I've seen.
I mean, this is no joke. Don't people love story time when I go back into yesteryear? When I was a kid, right down the hill from the apartment complex that we lived in West Paterson, New Jersey, people are going, I know where that is.
Yeah.
Right down the hill,
yeah,
there was a 7-Eleven. And every Saturday morning, kid you not, and I'm probably like 7.
Mm-hmm.
My mother would send me to the 7-Eleven to get something that we needed.
Yes.
I mean, literally right down the hill. It was a quarter of a mile at best. Go to the 7-Eleven and get me this. And you can get a Slurpee.
Yeah. Nice. Hey, that's cool. We had slush puppies at the gas station close to my house.
I grew up obviously right next to 7-Eleven, but here in the Triangle,
mm-hmm.
I have not seen this 7-Eleven that you speak of.
Yep.
We really generally do not have them.
Yeah.
But I know when I have been in Virginia, there's tons of them. I do a lot of traveling for youth soccer.
Yes.
This seems like there's 7-Elevens everywhere.
Yeah.
Except here.
Don said that there's a 7-Eleven in Clayton on Highway 42. So there you go.
What am I talking about? There's 7-Elevens everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I know we've got Sheets everywhere.
Yeah.
We've got Speedways.
Oh, yeah,
all sorts of things. Look, I'm not trying to. I don't want to forget some of our local gas station shopping opportunities. They are what they are.
I know. I want to say that was probably one of my seventh inning things like a year or so ago.
Oh, man.
They sold, or I don't know, they bought some gas station and made more 7-Elevens. So they baked them.
So
happy
7-Eleven.
Slurpee Day.
I have not had a Slurpee in a long time.
It's been a minute.
Very, very long time.
Yep.
And I can't remember the last time I had any actual food from a 7-Eleven or any of those. Even a Sheets, which I know people talk
Sheets,
highly of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Their food's good.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's been a minute. I don't frequent there.
Okay.
But in a pinch. It's great.
All right. Well, whatever. Welcome to Friday, and we should go.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here.
Since when is July 10th Flag Day?
Well, it is now.
It is now. Cooper Flagg made his debut last night in NBA Summer League, which used to be, I mean, it's always been a thing. It's sort of like mini camps, right? The NFL, they do mini camps. Baseball has not yet perfected the, for no reason at all, having games in like December. They do have Arizona Fall League, but that hasn't really become a huge TV thing. And all of a sudden, man, we got the NBA draft in our rear view mirror. Let's put them all on the court, get a whole bunch of young guys and play Summer League, and they will crown a champion. All right, good for them. Anyway, Summer League is in full swing. Our friend Brian Geisinger actually went.
Oh.
So we're going to talk to him next week.
Nice.
Yeah, Tuesday next week we're going to talk to BJ. He was there for the Cooper Flagg extravaganza. So the Flagg era has begun, and let's hear from a couple of things, and then because everybody's going to make an enormous deal out of everything Cooper Flagg does, including his first NBA summer bucket.
Both of those moves hard for another big to keep him in front.
And here's Flagg on the break, punching it home. Welcome to the league, Cooper Flagg.
It's official.
Right. I mean, it's a fast break, and he goes coast to coast with a flying tomahawk slam. I saw, who was it, Vinny Goodwill. Or no, it was Jason Goff. He used to come on this program with us often. Now writes, does podcasts in Chicago, writes for, I think, Yahoo. Anyway, he, on Twitter last night, he goes, man, I guess he was at the games. You don't realize until you see it up close, he's bigger and stronger and faster than you think. He is going to be great. Here's Udonis Haslem, who played for about 40 years for the Miami Heat.
When I look at a situation like Cooper Flagg, I look at what he's able to do on the basketball court, and I say, you don't want to look at his numbers. You don't want to, per se, look at the stat sheet at the end of the night. You want to look at how comfortable he is. You want to put him in different situations. You want to maximize his minutes when he's on the court. You want to make sure he's comfortable. You want to see what he's not comfortable doing. You want to get in that film room. You want to work on those weaknesses. So, for me, this is like a trial for Cooper Flagg to see what he maximizes and what his strengths are.
You don't want to look at the numbers because the numbers weren't great. 5 of 21 shooting, 0 of 5 from three-point range. He did have 6 rebounds, 4 assists, a couple of steals, a block. The block was great. Look, what I saw, which mostly was consumed via highlights. By the way, do you know what the ticket prices were? Because it was Dallas and L.A.
No.
So Cooper Flagg and Bronny James.
Oh, boy.
Now, I'm not sure how much of this is a Bronny effect, but I think there's some element of it. I think the cheapest ticket was like $650.
Oh, jeez. That's in the nosebleeds, too.
For a Summer League game. Summer League game.
Everyone's desperate.
Yes. All right, so here's Cooper Flagg on his performance.
The coaches, they had a lot of confidence in me. They've been telling me they want me to, experiment, try some new things. I was trying to be aggressive. That's new for me, too. I would say that might be one of the worst games of my life. And I'm not necessarily worried, but obviously just not happy with how it went. But, at the end of the day, we did get the win.
The win. Doesn't matter. Bronny missed a three-pointer at the buzzer that would have won the game. I think 87-85 was the final score. Nobody cares. Cooper sort of cared. I think he's just that's his general fallback. Did we win? Good. All right, I stunk, but at least we won. Here's the thing. People are going to ooh and ah over everything he does because this is what we do when we know we see a generational talent on the floor. He really is one of like I'm not saying he's going to be, LeBron or Giannis or anybody. I'm not saying that. We have no idea.
No.
But coming into the league with all of the different things he can do and play both ends and his size and his compete. And I will say 2 things that always separate good from great. One is your ability to work away from from practice and games. We talked about that yesterday. And the other is, how competitive are you? Like we talk so much about Jordan as a player, his physical gifts. I really think that the difference between Jordan and the rest was he just refused to lose. This is kind of where Kobe is the most Jordan-like. And I'm not saying that LeBron isn't that. I think LeBron has the competitive fire too. But I don't think anybody ever came close to Jordan.
No.
When it came close to that absolute, I would rather die than lose to you. And to me, those are separators. I think Flagg has a lot of that competitiveness in him. Anyway, here's what happens, though, when you get players like Flagg, because we've seen it in other times when we know we are watching players who are generational. You are probably too young to remember this, Victoria, even though it wasn't that long ago. LeBron James, the first time we saw LeBron play for his high school on ESPN carried a game. LeBron played. Jay Billis and Dick Vitale were doing the analysis. I forget who the play-by-play guy was. Doesn't really matter. But Vitale and Billis were there. And Vitale was going through this game like we were watching the greatest player in the history of Earth. Now, LeBron would arguably become that. But he wasn't that night. But because we all want to see how great this player is, everything good that they do is the greatest thing we've ever seen. And we ignore or kind of slough off the mistakes.
Yeah.
Which, the mistakes, that's fine. We have to account for all of those things. But we generally tend to just go, wow, the great plays, and blow it up like this is the norm. And that wasn't the case. I thought LeBron that night, you could tell that he had all the tools to become great, but it was a good performance. But think of all the pressure that's on LeBron, nationally televised game and all that, at age 18?
Yeah.
Right? So, by the way, Cooper Flagg's 18.
Exactly. I was going to say, just like Cooper.
So silly. So silly. Yeah, I don't know if you know, he won't be 19 until December. Let me localize this just a little bit, and then we'll run in through some local things before we move on. We watched Alexander Nikishin's debut for the Hurricanes in a playoff game against the Washington Capitals. And I don't remember what the broadcast was saying. It was a second-round game, so we only had, if you're watching it on television, you had a national broadcast. On the radio, we had Tripp and Mike, but regardless, road game, I have to watch the game. I wasn't there, so it's hard because they're not synced up. I don't get really Mike and Tripp as much as I get the national guys. And there were a couple of really good things that Nikishin did, but for the most part, it was a cluster. But if you followed that game through social media, you would have thought you were seeing Bobby Orr reincarnated. Oh my gosh. Like, no, people. He basically stunk except for 2 shifts.
Yeah, you just wanted so
right,
bad.
But exactly.
I think you see something.
The good looked good. The defending of Alexander Ovechkin, a couple of really good shots from the point, looked really good. Like, I saw there were some comments about this hit he delivered that I don't really remember because there really wasn't one. He pushed somebody down, right? But there wasn't this crunching hit. But it became like one of the great body checks you've ever seen.
Right.
It really wasn't, regardless. And this is not blaming. This is natural. We want these things to be true, so we take the best thing we saw and we blow it up. Like, he had one good game. Again, I don't know. This is not really about Alexander Nikishin. This is about what we do when we see players like this for the first time. And I don't believe Nikishin is a generational talent. Let's just make sure we understand that. But he's certainly somebody that Carolina has high hopes for to eventually play in their top 4 on the blue line. So just you localizing it as an example, and I think what we will see going into this year is Nikishin likely play on a third pair, blah, blah, blah. We will move on from the Hurricanes here for a bit. All right. We've been kind of working some NFL stuff in. All right, whether it's ranking. Remember the other day we talked, ESPN had their ranking of skill position groups. Wide receiver, tight end, running back. And Carolina ranked 31st.
Yeah.
Which, again, I haven't looked at the group of every team's skill position players. So, I don't know, 31 might be really accurate, to be honest. And I do realize that based on what we saw from Xavier Leggett last year, and knowing that we haven't seen anything on a football field from Tetero McMillan yet, I could get it being more cautious than anything else. I think Carolina's skill position group is going to be better than second worst in the league. Chris Canty must as well, because he had this to say on Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio this morning.
Big time boom team, the Carolina Panthers.
Ooh.
Big time boom team. I love what the Carolina Panthers are trying to do around Bryce Young. Big time boom team. Wouldn't be surprised if the Carolina Panthers contend for the NFC South title. We're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning that division 4 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you have Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, you don't win your division 4 years in a row, 5 years in a row. So, yeah, if you're asking me to put money on it today, the Carolina Panthers will win the NFC South.
I don't hate
it. All right. So, it could happen. We talked about it.
Yeah.
Now, before we, lose our minds over that, I think if you go 9-8, that might be enough to win the division.
For sure.
So, putting all of that into context, almost anybody, probably not New Orleans, but really the other three teams all have a chance. Is Tampa the favorite? Yes. Would Atlanta probably be the next choice? Yeah.
Yeah.
After that, I mean, honestly, obviously Carolina would be the choice after that, but I don't think anybody's winning more than 10 in the league. And because of that, yeah, the division is winnable if you're the Panthers.
Yep.
And they should go into this season thinking that they can win the division. They should. I mean, you want to put that kind of pressure on yourself internally. I think you do.
I'm sure Bryce is.
I think everybody there is. That's what people forget about athletes. They are supremely confident in themselves and the group around them. It's rare when players go into a season going, yeah, we have no chance. That's just not how they're wired. They are wired very differently. They also, and we should know this anyway, sports. Sometimes sports and weirdness happen. It just does. Sometimes it just doesn't matter. All of a sudden you get off to a good start. You believe you're better than you are. You you luck out a couple of times, you win some games you don't believe you're going to win, and all of a sudden, look at that.
Yeah.
we won the division.
We're leading.
So it could happen. Winning the division, though, and being a true Super Bowl contender are different things. I don't think anybody in the NFC South is a Super Bowl contender. 0 teams.
It's probably safe to say.
Right. So, all right, leave it at that. Now, back to the Hurricanes real quick. I saw this clip on, I forget where it was, Puckpedia, which is a pretty good source for hockey fans if you want to know about salaries and, prospects. It's a very good site. If you're into those types of things, I am, vocationally. So Puckpedia or Cap Wages, Spotrac or Spotrac, whatever it is, they all kind of do similar things. But anyway, they have a podcast, and Keandre Miller's agent, Ian Pulver, was on the podcast and explained to them how Keandre Miller from the Rangers to the Hurricanes unfolded.
It turned into a bit of a whirlwind. Chris Drury, who was completely above board the whole time and with the Miller situation and very professional, was in communication with me, was unsure whether he wanted to do a long-term deal. And then at 7 o'clock, the night before July 1, unrestricted free agency, Group 2 free agents are able to speak to some teams about possibilities. There were several teams that reached out, and the Hurricanes stepped to the plate, expressed interest, and then they had to construct a deal with the Rangers, which got done. In the meantime, discussions are going on with the Hurricanes to discuss parameters of a contract, and one thing led to another, and Keandre Miller is now a Carolina Hurricane.
We like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like Keandre Miller as a Hurricane. Big fan of that. I'm glad it all worked out. The Rangers were interested in keeping him, but they just were not interested in keeping him on the term of a contract that he got from Carolina. And they also had already essentially, put it in college terms, they recruited over him by bringing in Vladislav Gavrikov, an older player, a more established player, even though Miller had been with the Rangers for 5 years, to play with Adam Fox. And I don't believe they were willing to commit long-term dollars to somebody they viewed as, we're not sure. I think Miller is going to be great here. I don't know if he's going to ever end up on the right side, but I think Miller will be a mainstay on Carolina's blue line for a long time. Yeah. I do. Looking forward to all of it. All right, let me get to something we talked about yesterday, and that's the inevitability that the NCAA tournament, both men and women's, I believe, will expand. They've been meeting in Savannah, which is frankly a sneaky, amazing place on earth. And frankly, if I was having high-level meetings about anything serious, I wouldn't be doing it in Savannah.
No, you'd be distracted.
Way distracted. Yeah. Savannah's not a place I would go.
Yeah.
Too much to experience.
Unless it's a vacation.
In that city. Oh, boy. Gosh, I love Savannah. All right. PTI, Tony Kornheiser, Michael Wilbon. Wilbon weighed in on this yesterday.
I'm not going to boycott the tournament. I'm going to watch the tournament no matter what it does, probably. But, you're leaving this to a body. Up there, that logo that says NCAA, there's not a more worthless brand in sports. There's not a more mistrusted brand in all of sports than the logo that says NCAA. Because the people who rule for that body, they look like clowns much of the time as a body. Even if I know and we know people who represent the organization and have wonderful careers. But when they convene and they act in the name of NCAA, they get it wrong more often than not. So they're going to screw this up. It's an iconic event brand, the Final Four, March Madness, the big dance, all of that. Yep. And they're not smart enough to leave it alone.
Yeah. All right, blaming it simply on NCAA is easy. Yeah, they probably will. I will say that the one thing the NCAA does well is stage championships. So maybe that's not the right way. Everything else the NCAA does is a clown show. However, and I am not in favor of expansion of the NCAA tournament. It's unnecessary. It won't make anybody more money, but we understand. We talked about this yesterday. There is a way to do it, however, without really damaging much. And that is simply, instead of 76, just go to 72. We've kind of skirted around this before. You have your first four. Right now, that gets us to 68. You have the first four, and you can have like an other four. And basically all you're doing is you are creating the exact same scenario in all four brackets. So the two lowest rated conference champions, the 16 seeds, rather than having two 16 seeds in two of the four brackets, you would have two 16 seeded teams in all four brackets. And wherever those last four at-large teams go, you would now have last 8 at-large teams go. So you would have one of those games moving into each bracket. So you would just double the size of the first 4. If you did that, it wouldn't be so gross. It wouldn't extend the tournament beyond where it needs to be extended. It wouldn't be all FIFA-ish by making this otherwise nondescript Club World Cup a month-and-a-half-long process in the middle of the summer when the players should otherwise have an off-season. Because that's what happened with the Club World Cup. Anyway, there is a way to do it without doing so much damage to the actual tournament itself. Because, again, we ain't making it better. We're just making it bigger. When we come back, Brenden Whitted on Flagg Day. Also, it was Bronny on the court. And R.J. Davis played for the Lakers. All of that with Brenden Whitted next.
Chapel Hill to Charlotte, Greenville to Greensboro. Your sports, his state. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
Panthers training camp is almost here, and it's finally time, Panthers fans. Go all out to win. The years prior to this, it's about draft picks. It's about playing the younger guys, making sure they get their experience, maybe even above winning games. But this year, all of that changes. Dave Canales, Bryce Young, it's time to win.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
This is Monster Jam. Witness big air, two-wheel skills, backflips, and all-out racing. It's the only place to see the world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks, like Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, Megalodon, and more. It's big-time fun for the whole family. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Coming to Lenovo Center July 26th and 27th. Brought to you by BKT Tires, the original Superglue, and Texas Roadhouse.
Black isn't just a color. It's the presence of infinite possibilities. It's the moment before everything changes. An invitation to something unforgettable.
I won.
Win up to $4 million with Carolina Black Premier from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.18. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Westwood One Sports presents this special tennis update sponsored by Fidelity Wealth Management. Carlos Alcaraz will play a third straight Wimbledon title on Sunday. The 2 seed outlasted the 5 seed, American Taylor Fritz, in 4 sets in the semis, saving 2 set points to close it out in a tiebreaker.
Really difficult match as always when I have to play, against Taylor. Even tougher with the conditions today, really hot again. So I'm just really proud about the way that I stay calm and then thinking clearly. So I just pleased about my level today.
That's Alcaraz from his center court interview. He's now won 20 straight matches at Wimbledon and 24 in a row overall. The second semifinal is just underway. The 6th-seed Novak Djokovic and world number 1 Jannik Sinner. They met in the French Open semis with Sinner winning. With this tennis update, Brad Heller, Westwood One Sports.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing Mountain Dew. Yes, give me my good friends. Give me that dew.
Grab some ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Leftover Salmon and the infamous String Dusters are coming to Cocoa Booth Amphitheater Saturday, July 11th. Get your tickets on etix.com today.
This is Adam Gold.
Steve Bettman take all that time to walk out, then to see the pick, bro hug no less than 20 guys on his way up there. And then this draft house, they just moved this wall like the Price is Right. I don't know.
It's a showcase showdown back there.
I know.
That would be great. So we should spin a wheel,
yeah,
right? Exactly.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Jannik Sinner took the first set from Novak Djokovic. I really wanted to bet on Djokovic today because he was plus 200. Can't remember the last time Djokovic was that kind of underdog. But Sinner's going to beat him. Sinner's going to beat him. And Sinner's actually, I think, got a good grass court game. So I wouldn't be surprised if he won Wimbledon. Anyway, so I stayed away from that, and I have a nugget for you that I will get to you later about American men and Grand Slams. It ain't great. What is great, though, is the potential, the future of Cooper Flagg. And yesterday was Flagg Day. It was the first Summer League game for the first overall pick. Brenden Whitted was watching it. Also, Bronny James. You could have gotten in, apparently, to where they play in this in Vegas. You could have gotten in for like $600. That was apparently the cheap ticket for Bronny versus Cooper in a Summer League game. I don't have that kind of cash for that.
That's stop playing.
No, I don't.
I know you got that big
don't.
bank.
I know I can't. No. I don't. I don't have that. I don't. It's radio, man. This ain't TV.
The crazy part is, like, I mean, I remember I went and covered Summer League a gazillion years ago, and it was so much cheaper. Like it was, but it's become this huge thing, and it's so much. It's fun, right? I always have to do this with myself, though, whenever I'm watching Summer League, because inevitably it'll happen. I would have just finished the NBA, and I've kind of got a little bit, you start after about like a couple weeks, I start fiending again. I'm like, I want to watch more NBA ball. And so Summer League is right there, is right after the draft. So you're really excited about these players. You always have to temper expectations and temper whatever thing you take away from it. Right. So, like, hey, you could see somebody like Cooper Flagg. He goes 5 for 20. Don't start overreacting saying, hey, this guy, the shot is broken. No, he is going to need a shot. And I thought Tim Legler was really good on the call. Like, yes, something at the top of his shot with his wrist. There is a little bit of a weird English as the ball comes off. I think they'll fix that. I think they'll clean it up. And even in the meantime, in between time, he has so many good things that he gives you. But it was fun to see him and Brownie and RJ Davis all on one court together, get this chance to see some prospects I really wanted to check out.
Yeah, we know Con Knipple is going to play, I think, tonight. We're going to see Sion James on the court because the Hornets are playing. Tyrese Proctor played last night. We saw Proctor. I think he had 14 points, 3 of 7 for 3. DJ Stewart, hey, he was at Duke for like a meal or so. But he played
don't forget. Hold on. Don't forget UNC legend Pete Nance. Pete Nance played, and Cormac Ryan actually. He was also in that same Milwaukee game. He had actually a really good game for them. Had 18 points off the.
I wouldn't be shocked if Cormac Ryan could find his way deep into an NBA bench.
He had a decent G League season with the OKC, whatever their G League affiliate is. He had a decent season for them. There were times when he looked really good. I think his age scared some people off and stuff like that. But it wouldn't shock me if you saw him get called up. Or get signed and then called up somewhere.
Oh, we're going to get back to Flagg in a second, but just a player like Cormac Ryan, who I guess had the reputation of being a great shooter, even though he was not a great shooter, had more all-around game to his credit than a lot of people gave credit. And if the shot refines itself to the point where he can shoot mid to high 30s at the NBA level, the rest of his game becomes something that NBA teams could use as an 8th, 9th, 10th man. And who knows, man? Peyton Pritchard is a player. Why can't I mean I'm not knocking Peyton Pritchard, but if
but that's fair. And honestly, RJ Davis was the comp for me. Somebody asked me, because I've been pretty consistent. I think RJ can play at this level. And then someone asked, who do you see, who you project out to be? I think because that's the easiest and quickest way to get somebody to, okay, you think he can play. What does his role look like? And it's Peyton Pritchard, right?
Okay.
And early on in Pritchard, still a bit of a defensive liability. Teams are going to go after him, hunt him because just a smallish guy, kind of like RJ, who also has his struggles defensively. But a guy who can put it up. Now, Pritchard also shot at a prolific rate. And RJ, despite the fact that it seems like he should be, like his numbers should indicate that he's an all-time great shooter because you put up some of these magnificent performances and you see what type of all-time scorer he is for UNC. The numbers haven't really played that out. And he's going to need to shoot a high percentage. He's a smallish guard, really more of just a small two. He's not a great facilitator by any means, although he can navigate a screen and roll situation. He has to hit it at a high level because you saw some of it last night when he was playing Nembhard. Nembhard's little brother, whose first name I forgot, forgive me, but Nembhard's little brother went off, was going crazy, and he looked very much like the cat from the Indiana Pacers. You could tell that they grew up playing alongside one another, just the way that he carries himself. There's no fear at all in what he's doing. He goes to his spot and he gets there and he makes plays. And you had that hard-nosed defense. He was picking guys up 94 feet, right? Like he was getting after it. There was no hesitation about, I can't stay in front of guys or guys are going to get past me. No. He was locking folks down. Right. Had a couple of tips and steals. So for Summer League, you have to show who you are. And that means that you're not going to get a chance to play real team ball. And I think for especially guys like Cooper Flagg, that hurts a little bit because he is a guy that distributes. These guys that just started practicing with one another about 3 days beforehand. And while he is a good creator, I wouldn't want him as the primary creator on any team that I'm on that's talking about going far into the playoffs or something like that. It wouldn't shock me if they kind of started off with some of that stuff. They did something similar with Aaron Gordon when he was with Orlando.
Okay.
Because whatever. Y'all weren't finna win nothing, no way. So go ahead and try some stuff out, and that'd be fine. But when Kyrie gets back and they really get into some sort of real motion in terms of, hey, we're going to be a winning team, that's a little bit too much to put on his plate right now. But he looked really, really good in the other aspects of the game, even though the shot wasn't falling.
Yeah, look, we watched him. Brenden Whitted is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. We watched Cooper, for however many games, right? He missed a couple with the ankle injury at the ACC tournament, but we watched him all year. And we know the all-around game. We know the fact that Duke ran their offense through him. That he is, and we saw some of it last night. We saw the coast-to-coast dunk, but we also saw coast-to-coast negotiating in traffic and then finding people. One of the highlights I saw, was Cooper driving it deep and then kicking it back out to Nembhard for a wide-open three-pointer. He had all day long to shoot that. Great defense. Great transition defense by the Lakers there. So we saw the all-around game, and it's those other things that he does that, at least in year one, is probably going to allow Dallas, like, you know what, he's shooting 39% from the floor, but we don't care because there's 9 rebounds, there's 3 blocks, there's 6 assists because he does all of those other things.
That's the comp that I gave him was Ben Simmons coming out like, hey, he's going to struggle a little bit in terms of shooting. Now just hold on, stay with me, just stay locked in with me right quick. Keep in mind,
is that a positive?
In his first 4 years of playing in the NBA, he had 3 All-Star appearances and the Rookie of the Year. He was on the Hall of Fame projection before either the back or the mental or whatever just went haywire. Like he was on track to really live up to that number 1 status. That's the cool thing about Flagg. Yes, the other stuff is going to come, but everything else is still NBA caliber for him already. I think he's going to be a good defender. I saw him navigate on a couple of these screens on the perimeter with no trouble at all. And this he's 6'10", 230. So this is not a small man by any stretch of the imagination. He's only going to get bigger probably, but he was able to comport himself defensively on the perimeter. And that's something that is always kind of can give you a sigh of relief if you're a coach, because you can't play and drop all the time. Sometimes you're going to switch. Sometimes you need a head. Sometimes you need to ice, or sometimes you need to double. Whatever it is, you need somebody that's comfortable operating in space. He's clearly capable of doing that, and you don't have to put too much pressure on him playing the center position because you got a gluttony of them for the Mavericks.
The biggest difference between he and Ben Simmons, and I get your comp because it's all the other things that Flagg does that Simmons could do. Distribute, handle, defend, rebound, all of that. But 5 for 21 from the floor in your Summer League debut. I believe it took Ben Simmons a year to attempt 21 shots. So that is the separator between Cooper Flagg and Ben Simmons.
If Ben Simmons has 100 haters, you're one of them. If Ben Simmons has 1 hater, you're one of them. And Ben Simmons has no hater, you have passed away. So I appreciate it. I appreciate the consistency, sir.
I've never liked it, but that's fine. I recognize the overall game with Ben Simmons. Look, if you're afraid to miss and you don't shoot, you never miss.
Yeah. I mean, it capped him unnecessarily, gave him a ceiling unnecessarily that his talent didn't seem to. But the other part is, one, you mentioned it, the 21 attempts, Simmons would just stop shooting at some point.
Yeah.
But even at LSU, there did seem to be a lack of kind of a fire with what going on. That team had a lot of talent on it.
Yeah, that was.
And then for whatever reason, now that wasn't all on Simmons, but one of the things that they talk about Flagg is about that competitive fire. And you saw he got into it a little bit with the fans at Summer League. They had talked a little bit of junk, and he hit a turnaround right over Bronny and gave it back to him a little bit. And I like to see that kind of stuff. Like, it's Summer League. There's he played a ton of minutes.
32.
There's no reason he should have been out there as long as he was, other than, one, the staff feels comfortable with having him play, sure, but 2, he wants to play.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what everybody kind of talks about with him. And those sort of intangibles, you can't, there's no accounting for, other than, hey, I just really want to go hoop. And so that's something that you have to have if you want to be an all-time great player.
Final thing about this, I'm going to let you go. A few years back, the last, hyped to this point, Summer League debut was probably Zion Williamson. And Zion played the one game.
Wemby.
Well, yes,
Wemby
good point. And actually the same thing with Wembanyama. They played once, and we're done. Yep. We don't need you. I don't see that happening. I think Dallas. I think Flagg's going to play, and this is not a negative towards Williamson. It's not a negative towards Wembanyama, because I think you alluded to it. There's a different way that Cooper approaches the game than those guys approach it. And again, this is not a negative on them. It's more about highlighting that Cooper is different. And I talked about this in the opening of the program. There are a lot of things that separated Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant from their peers. Their competitiveness was, aside from the incredible talent,
Right.
Their competitiveness is really what drove them higher. And I think that might end up serving Cooper Flagg really well.
And being on a team that's not completely destitute.
Oh, God.
Usually, number one picks do not go to teams this stacked usually.
You got to be Magic, right?
Yeah. Well,
Magic going to the Lakers didn't hurt,
right? That was helpful. Penny going to the Magic, I guess. I mean, he wasn't number one pick. I guess Chris Webber was technically
Chris Webber was.
Like
right.
They, the trade and the whole. Yeah, no. I mean, look, I while I am still salty that Charlotte didn't, for whatever reason, just seems to keep missing out on generational talents whenever we have the opportunity to draft that high. I am glad that we'll get a chance to see him play meaningful basketball sooner than we usually do for draft picks that go that high.
I think Dallas might. I mean, I don't think it would be a terrible pick to see Dallas in the NBA Finals. They've got a lot of good players. And
Orlando Magic to the Eastern Conference Finals, by the way, that Tyus Jones pickup was sneaky nice for them. They finally got a place setter. They finally got a place setter there. I think that's going to – all
right.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to FanDuel right now. Brenden Whitted, my man. It said basketball brain. That's right. It says basketball brain at HU Cosell. My man, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Love it, man. Appreciate you.
You got it. Brenden Whitted here on the Adam Gold Show. We've got one-timers and that U.S. men's tennis stat that I teased before. Next.
Making more sports sense than social media trolls. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
The North Carolina Healthcare Association invites you to listen to this month's podcast, Conversations on the State of Healthcare. Each year, 3.6 million people in the U.S. delay or skip medical care altogether simply because they can't get to a healthcare provider. From long distances to unreliable public transit to the cost of a tank of gas, it all adds up. LaPonda Edmondson, president of the North Carolina Healthcare Foundation, joins me to talk about how their social impact program is making a difference in Robeson County.
We're investing $900,000 over the course of 3 years in Robeson County. Our aim there is to be able to support these projects that address transportation as a social driver of health.
You can learn more and join our latest Conversations on the State of Healthcare wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, and learn more by visiting nchealthcare.org.
Did you know? Atlantic hurricane season runs through November. From gathering necessary supplies to planning an evacuation route, now is the time to make sure you and your family are prepared. And if a storm damages our electric system, local public power providers are ready to respond and restore power quickly and safely. As a public power customer, you benefit from having an electricity provider that restores power faster than other providers do. Visit electricities.com for storm preparation tips and resources.
Make this your best summer yet by having fun while staying active and engaged. AARP can help. Find AARP events near you by visiting aarp.org/local. That's aarp.org/local to find both in-person and virtual events. You can also learn more about living your best life by listening to AARP Without Limits, wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Ask any college student. If it wasn't for the last minute, lots of assignments wouldn't get done. So if you haven't figured out your plan for college and how to pay for it yet, don't worry, you've still got time. And with the next NC scholarship, you can still get money to pay for most or all of your tuition. To apply, just fill out your FAFSA and you could get $3,000 for community college or $5,000 for public university, and possibly more. See how easy it is to apply at nextncscholarship.org.
Did you know Medicare fraud is costing us $68 billion a year? The NC Department of Insurance Senior Medical Patrol Program's goal is to reduce Medicare fraud, waste, and abuse. If you suspect any billing or Medicare fraud issues, we're here to help. Contact SMP today at ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
North Carolina ranks second in the nation in potential agricultural land lost by the year 2040. The NC Forever Farms program supports the preservation of family farms through permanent agricultural conservation easements and has received a record number of applications for 3 straight years. Landowners interested in preserving their working farm through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services can learn more by visiting ncadfp.org.
Voted best zoo in the nation, North Carolina Zoo and Botanical Gardens is centrally located in the heart of North Carolina. Bring your family to Asheboro for an affordable day trip or weekend excursion to connect with nature and make cherished memories. Discover towering giraffes, pouncing sandcats, and diving seabirds at the world's largest natural habitat zoo. Roam with rhinos on Zoofari or flutter by the exotic butterfly garden during your next visit. Explore more possibilities at nczoo.org.
This is Adam Gold.
We're going to have Seth on the show next week when he gets back from vacation. He was by a pool. What are you doing? Get off Twitter.
It's nicer to be on Twitter when you're by a pool anyway.
No, just stop. Stop engaging with people.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria on the ones and twos. Before we do one-timers, I'm a huge Grand Slam tennis fan. All right. We're in the Wimbledon semifinals right now. Carlos Alcaraz beat Taylor Fritz, American Taylor Fritz, in the first semifinal, and Jannik Sinner is whooping Novak Djokovic in the second one. Sinner is up a set, up a break in the second set, and just blistering the ball past Djokovic. So Fritz, an American man, we have had a long run of no good from American men. For a long time, we didn't even have anybody ranked in the top, 30. Now, we have plenty of American men ranked in the top 30. Plenty of seeded American men's players in these Grand Slam events. And there are 32 seeded players out of 128 in the event. The Taylor Fritz is the 5th seed. He got to the semifinals. That's great. We've had an occasional American get to the finals, although I'm my brain, I don't exactly know who they are. But we have not won a Grand Slam event. An American man has not won a Grand Slam event 86 consecutive events. The last American man to do it was in 2003. Andy Roddick won the U.S. Open.
That's been a minute.
Yep, his only Grand Slam win. Andy Roddick in 2003. That was it. It's the last time an American man lifted a Grand Slam trophy. And it put an end to a run of 15 years in which American men won 27. What a drought. What a drought. Good thing that we have had some incredible women to win Grand Slam events, including the greatest of all time, Serena Williams. All right, let's do one-timer.
Okay, so we have, looking at our YouTube stream, or you can at me on Twitter. Either one is fine. First up, do you think, let's see. Yes, do you think any of the RFAs, like Rossi, McTavish, or even Velarde, is a natural center that's feasible for the Canes and a more affordable option for the Canes at 2C? Would those be upgrades?
No. If you're not going to get a legitimate 2C, Rossi's a good player, but he's small too. You're better off with trying to convert Seth Jarvis. I think that's what they'll do first. Unless a trade materializes between now and the time they get to training camp, and I don't know that one will. You're better off staying in-house.
Yeah. Well, along the same NHL lines, do you think that with the cap going up, this person suspects the ticket prices will also go up to cover the increasing payroll costs? What say you?
Misnomer. Payroll equals ticket price increase. Misnomer. It's all about supply and demand. It's about what the market will bear. Mostly, it is used as a crutch and an excuse to raise ticket prices. It's not true. So, ticket prices were going up anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no idea what ticket prices are. I really don't. But ticket prices were going to go up anyway when you sell out every game.
Yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah.
All right, moving back over to Cooper Flagg. How long do you think it will take someone like Cooper Flagg to get comfortable in the NBA?
Comfortable doesn't necessarily equal refined skills. I think he'll be comfortable pretty quickly because I think he's going to all the other things will benefit him and allow his offense to catch up. So he'll get comfortable very quickly. How long until he becomes legitimately, an all-star caliber player? A year, 2 years maybe?
Yeah. Well, last but not least, it's Slurpee Day, and we've established that there are 7-Elevens everywhere in the Triangle. So, what's the best Slurpee flavor for you? I know I've got my fave.
There is no such thing as a best Slurpee flavor. I guess the red would be my choice, whatever red is.
Okay.
But yeah,
it's probably
they're
cherry.
not good. Blue. I like a blue Slurpee. The blue raspberry, which doesn't exist. But I like a blue raspberry. It's also the best flavor of Gatorade.
Questioning goalie interference calls since day one. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. We're in the offseason, but it doesn't mean me and my co-host, WREL TV's Chris Lee, take a break from our podcast, Panthers Playbook. In every episode, we'll keep you up to date on Panthers news as training camp approaches, insights on the rookies, the free agents, and the surprises, plus all the insider info on the upcoming season. Follow and subscribe to Panthers Playbook wherever you discover your favorite podcast or watch on YouTube.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
It's Bo time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's Bo time.
There's no time like Bo time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop, but the perfect time for a Bojangles Bird Dog. A seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supremes, dill pickles, and Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all tucked inside a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 Bird Dogs for just $5 or 2 Bird Dog Combo for just $8.25. Available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's Bo time.
Adam Gold in studio with my man Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. All right, let's paint the scenario here. I need windows, but man, I don't have 3 hours to go through the process of deciding what I need, when I need it. Can you help at the Aluminum Company?
Absolutely. So, first of all, when we come out to your house to look at your windows, typical window appointment may last 45 minutes, an hour. We're certainly not going to make a 4 or 5 hour commitment to talk about windows. We're
I had
there
to
to
serve
help.
dinner last time.
Right. Listen, my wife always says, I talk to my wife all the time. We have salespeople, whatever we're doing. And my wife, I tell her all the time, I can't stand salespeople. And she laughs. She's like, you are a salesperson. I'm like, well, the difference is I'm just having a conversation trying to help people get what they want. I'm not there to pressure you. I'm just there to help you get in and out. And it's a pretty quick appointment. It's pretty efficient. So we're there to help you and make it quick.
I can vouch for that. The Aluminum Company of North Carolina, online at aluminumcompany.com.
It's been said that when someone you love has Parkinson's, you have Parkinson's. If you have questions, the Parkinson's Foundation has answers. Learn more at parkinson.org or call 1-800-473-4636.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Caitlin Clark, if there's one thing she knows, that's how to market the WNBA. She understands the brand, her brand, and I think she understands Angel Reese's brand. Caitlin Clark did the only thing that she could do, and that's not select Angel Reese, because there has to be, in a WNBA All-Star game, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. It is the storyline, the prominent storyline. Well done, Caitlin Clark, not picking Angel Reese.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. They had a draft, and Caitlin Clark didn't choose Angel Reese?
Apparently.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. You know what? Whatever.
Yeah.
I all of that stuff, if that creates interest, and that's fine. Good. Go for it. The league is killing it. We talked to Christine Brennan. There's actually 2 books about Caitlin Clark out.
Oh, is there now?
Yeah. One, Christine Brennan wrote. She talked to us about it a couple of weeks before it published. It actually just published or was available for purchase 2 days ago.
Yeah.
3 days ago. Tuesday,
Recent.
the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
We talked to her a couple of weeks earlier. It's called On Her Game. And it wasn't just about Caitlin Clark. It was through the Caitlin Clark experience, and she was very critical of the WNBA being unprepared for the onslaught that they were about to deal with. And, I'm not sitting here saying that she was right, they were wrong, whatever. That's the thrust of the book. And I don't know what the gist of the other book, but Brennan's book also examines just what it's meant to women's sports. And I do think we are in an era now, just at the beginning of it, where women's sports are becoming more and more popular. I watched the Women's Euros last night. I know Fox FS1 is running replays of the games late at night. Obviously, they're in Switzerland, like 6 hours ahead. But I've watched 3 or 4 different games already. It is awesome. It is absolutely awesome. And women's sports, I mentioned yesterday that women's volleyball is becoming a lot more popular as a professional sport. There's a professional softball league this is not the first one, but I think this one might have some staying power. It's a little bit of a barnstorming thing, much like professional lacrosse has been, like men's lacrosse.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we're starting to see more and more of these types of things pop up and start to gain some traction. So, hey, all about these women figuring out a way, just like men are allowed to do, figuring out a way to make a living at the sport in which they play. So awesome. Good for them. Lots to do. Brett Friedlander is going to join us in about 15 or so minutes. We are less than 2 weeks away from ACC football media days. We'll talk about a little bit about that, the expanding NCAA tournament, and I'm sure Brett is he's salty about something. All right, let's run it back. I mentioned the NCAA tournament's likely expansion. They've been meeting in Savannah. I think those meetings are over, although, frankly, there's no need to leave Savannah. If the meetings are over, it's even more reason to stay.
Yes, and eat. I've heard you should just eat everywhere. It's good food.
I'll say this about Savannah. If Charleston and New Orleans had a baby, it would be Savannah.
Okay. Good food and hot.
Well,
and
yes.
cool places.
Well, I'm not a huge fan of New Orleans, but New Orleans is a little bit wacky.
Yes.
Savannah has a wacky side to it.
Okay.
And it does have a lot of that Charleston charm and the incredible food. Savannah is a gorgeous, gorgeous city.
Minus the voodoo, hopefully.
Well, no, the voodoo's there. That's the part of it that they have.
Okay.
That's the New Orleans crazy.
Right. Oh,
That's why I said, it's part New Orleans, it's
Woo!
part Charleston.
Yeah.
It is 100% glorious.
Yeah.
I love Savannah.
Don't pick up that doll.
No, I mean, just,
keep
that's
walking.
why, for people who have seen Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, it explains Savannah beautifully.
Oh, okay.
It really does.
I've not seen that.
Savannah's such a great city. Such a great city. Anyway, they were down there, the NCAA were down there figuring out whether or not they're going to expand the NCAA basketball tournaments, and they are. Even though they haven't formally announced it, they still say it's viable for this upcoming season. Seriously, for this upcoming season, the 26th tournament is still in play. I find that hard to believe. I'm sure there's got to be a deadline soon about that. Either way, and I think if they're going to do it in 26, it is probably most likely that they just inch the number up a little, which is probably the better way to do it anyway. Michael Wilbon on PTI on ESPN is not in favor.
I'm not going to boycott the tournament. I'm going to watch the tournament no matter what it does, probably. But, you're leaving this to a body. Up there, that logo that says NCAA, there's not a more worthless brand in sports. There's not a more mistrusted brand in all of sports than the logo that says NCAA. Because the people who rule for that body, they look like clowns much of the time as a body, even if I know and we know people who represent the organization and have wonderful careers. But when they convene and they act in the name of NCAA, they get it wrong more often than not. So they're going to screw this up. It's an iconic event brand, the Final Four, March Madness, the big dance, all of that. And they're not smart enough to leave it alone.
All right. There's some truth in there, and we're going to get to it. I will say that the NCAA probably is more trustworthy than FIFA and the IOC. FIFA's totally corrupt, 100% corrupt, my opinion. And the IOC is probably worse. But with that said, the NCAA, when it comes to matters of championships that they control, they generally do a good job. When it comes to the other stuff, they're terrible. But the other stuff, because it's all NCAA, the other stuff kind of bleeds over here. Here's the deal. We always need to remember this about the NCAA. It's not a separate entity. All of the schools are the NCAA. Every one of them. From the University of Maryland to Towson State. just to use two schools in the state of Maryland for no apparent reason. It doesn't matter if you like Division I, Division II, Division III. These are all the NCAA. They all make up the organization. So this is really your school president, whatever school you're a fan of, your school president has a role in all of this. Now, could you expand the tournament without hurting the tournament? And the answer is yes. But you would just have to expand it by just a teensy bit. And you could do it by expanding by 4 without doing real damage to anything. You would just essentially be doubling the size of the schedule on the first 4 days. Right now we have a first 4. Then we have 2 games on Tuesday, 2 games on Wednesday. The 2 16 seeds play first on Tuesday, and then you have like 2 11 seeds or 2 12 seeds or whatever play in the second game. And then the same thing happens on Wednesday. Those games all happen in Dayton. You can choose another site, maybe on, more in the West, and end up with 4 games on Tuesday and 4 games on Wednesday. Nobody would get injured. We would be, hey, we expanded, even though it wouldn't make us any more money. You could do that without really damaging the event. Is it great? No. They should probably simply go back to 64. That would be better. 72, bigger, not better. 64, smaller, better. Cleaner. Anyway, that's my thought on that. All right, let me get to one other thing. I talked about this yesterday. The National Football League and the Players Association. Players Association charged the NFL with collusion for after the Deshaun Watson contract was signed, which was 5 years, $230 million, all guaranteed. Had never been done in the NFL before. A fully guaranteed contract, every single cent. And this ticked off owners. They were mad at, who's the guy in Cleveland? Whatever, Jimmy Haslam in Cleveland. They were mad at Jimmy Haslam, as they should have been. So, because the next set of contracts were not fully guaranteed, the Players Association charged the owners with collusion. They went to an arbitrator, and the arbitrator said, well, there wasn't collusion. They couldn't prove collusion, but we did find out that the commissioner, Roger Goodell, and the lead attorney for the league, Jeffrey Pash, told the owners to not do that anymore. And while that's not necessarily collusion, it was a directive from the league to the owners to not do it. On top of that, both sides, the PA and the league, who are supposed to be working against each other, agreed to bury that story. So nobody in the Players Association was aware of this. If I was a player, I would be pissed off. I would be pissed off if I was a player.
Big time. Right.
All right. So there's more about Lloyd Howell, who is the Players Association, the new lead negotiator, the executive director. Used to be DeMaurice Smith. So Howell's been on the job for a couple of years. Howell came from a private equity company. He doesn't have any background in labor. None. It's not his thing. He's a money guy. So he also works for a company that was already tangentially, that's not a word, connected to the National Football League. Private equity, trying to get in the good graces of the NFL. We pick up Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk on Lloyd Howell being almost a mole.
When Lloyd Howell was hired, based upon his background, his lack of union experience, his alignment with corporate interests, his membership on the GE Healthcare board, which had a relationship at one point with the NFL and still might, I'm like, this guy could be a Manchurian candidate. And it was a joke. It was a joke. But man, after reading the thing today, it's like, funny joke. Ha ha. Joke's on the NFLPA.
Think about what you, as the NFLPA, is, right? You are trying to represent the players against the league. The players are trying to constantly get a better deal from the league, and the league is trying to prevent that. It is a natural adversarial relationship. The problem with Lloyd Howell is that, because Florio mentioned it, he's on the board of a couple of companies that already have connections to the NFL, including private equity, which, while he's not like a full-time employee with that company, he is a consultant for them and gets paid a couple $100,000 a year. They were one of the companies, it was the Carlyle Group, one of the companies that the NFL has on their approved list for private equity companies buying minority stakes in NFL franchises. And while he has nothing to do with that, it is a conflict of interest, obviously. Florio on that.
It's no different than the stuff I said about Tom Brady and the conflict of interest he has between his job at Fox and his role as a minority owner of the Raiders. But here's where this is different. Lloyd Howell is the person in charge of the NFLPA. He is the person who should be fighting solely and daily and without distraction or conflict of interest for the rights of the players. And it's impossible to do that if you have a side job where you're a consultant for a company that already has cozied up to the NFL, hopes to stay in the NFL's good graces, doesn't want to get stricken from the list of approved private equity funds. It should not exist.
But it does. I will also point this out, that this is the first time the head of the Players Association has had a side hustle. DeMaurice Smith didn't work for anybody but the NFLPA. Lloyd Howell makes about $3 million a year in his role heading up the Players Association. I just don't think you need to drive an Uber. I mean, you shouldn't. You know, if you want, look, by all means, I'm sure Lloyd Howell could make more money than he's making as head of the NFLPA. He clearly, he's got contacts in private equity. I mean, he could be making 10 times that somewhere else. Go do that. I just don't see how he's serving his constituents. There's a lot. I thought that was a fascinating. It's about 8 minutes long. If you go to profootballtalk.com, I thought it was Florio laid out some fascinating things about this story that, frankly, not a lot of people are talking about because everybody's in bed with the NFL. It's a shame. All right, Brett Friedlander, our friend who has covered the Atlantic Coast Conference since before you were born. Next.
Talking sports so you don't have to pretend to know stuff. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
Panthers training camp is almost here, and it's finally time, Panthers fans. Go all out to win. The years prior to this, it's about draft picks. It's about playing the younger guys, making sure they get their experience, maybe even above winning games. But this year, all of that changes. Dave Canales, Bryce Young, it's time to win.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
Even with it being ridiculously hot, the days are still beautiful, and you can always cool down with the wind in your face. I'm Victoria Vodenecker here from 99.9 The Fan for Law Tigers, and when most people think about summer, they think about the pool, the beach, maybe checking out a new city. Well, you can do all of that, but when you throw in taking your bike out to these places, it just adds another level of fun. And that's always the goal in life, right? To have fun. But occasionally, fun can also come with the risk of situations where you're in an accident on your motorcycle that wasn't your fault while trying to have fun. And if that occurs, make sure to call my friends at Law Tigers first before calling your insurance company. At Law Tigers, they're riders too, so they understand everything. They know what it's like to go through an accident. They know the value of your bike, your gear, and the investment that you've made. So case evaluations are always free, and you're not going to pay a dime until your case is settled. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
Westwood One Sports presents this special tennis update sponsored by Fidelity Wealth Management. World number one Jannik Sinner is in total control against Novak Djokovic in the semifinals, on the verge of going up 2-0. Djokovic clearly not 100% after taking a nasty fall late in the quarterfinals. The winner will face Carlos Alcaraz, who is now one win away from a third straight Wimbledon title after beating American Taylor Fritz in 4 sets.
I don't want to think about Sunday. I just want, to be honest, I just want to enjoy this moment, enjoy that I qualified to another final, the third in a row here in Wimbledon. So right now I'm gonna watch the semifinal as well, and let's see.
Alcaraz saved 2 set points in the 4th set tiebreaker before winning the last 4 points to close it out. He has now won 24 matches in a row. With this tennis update, Brad Heller, Westwood One Sports.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
DQ presents How to Make Your Summer Take Flight. Just head into DQ for our new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat. Treat your inner hero to an epic mix of sugar cookie dough, sprinkles, and cake batter flavor. Blend it all with legendary DQ soft serve, and it's enough to tempt Superman himself. Fly into DQ for our new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat before it's gone. And don't miss Superman, only in theaters July 11th. DQ, happy tastes good. Only at participating locations.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Adam Gold.
I did love that Rod video with him, though, when he was trying to communicate.
Yeah, you speak hockey.
And he was like, it's okay, you don't need to know this, you know hockey. And I was like, oh, heartstrings. Yeah. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, it was awesome.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria on the ones and twos. Brett Friedlander in a matter of moments. I read a story I perused a story in the New York Times today about private equity getting involved in youth sports. And at some point today, before we get out of here, I would love to have a conversation with a fellow youth sports parent about the cost and where we are headed. Because according to the New York Times, it's only about to get worse. If you are a if you are a parent of a youth sports, a good player, whether it's baseball, travel ball, basketball, which flows into AAU and other things, soccer, as my son is, it's expensive. And pricing out the, lower middle class people, it's not good. It's just not good. And this is, again, according to the Times, it's because private equity sees dollar signs, it's likely only going to get worse. And that's too bad. It shouldn't be, you shouldn't have to take out a second job for your son or daughter to play high-level youth sports. I mean, that should not be the case. But we'll do that a little bit later on. Also, Patrick Agyemang, who plays as a striker for Charlotte FC, there has been a deal struck with Derby County in the Championship, which is the second tier of football in England. It's a total of about $10 million, I think, in a transfer fee. Plus, they call them add-ons. Generally, they're like certain things that have to be achieved before you get that extra money. And the head coach at Charlotte FC, Dean Smith, not a fan. And we'll bring that to you when we get to Wall of Sound coming up in a little bit. Right now, he is our friend. He is an ACC reporting legend, a columnist legend. He has seen Lefty Drizel coach against Dean Smith and Bobby Ross coach against Mac Brown version 1.0. Brett Friedlander. You did see both of those matchups, correct?
Yes, I did, but I'm intrigued by this. The coach or the manager, whatever they call them in soccer, of Charlotte FC is named Dean Smith?
Yes.
Wow. That's almost as good as the Hurricanes having Michael Jordan on their team, right?
That's right. It's about 4, 5, 6 years ago. But yes, a Czech, kind of a fringy, decent defenseman. But yes, Michael Jordan.
Hey, win in North Carolina, man. You gotta represent, right?
If he was better, they would have really leaned into it. He should have been number 23. Right. That would have been even better. Yes, you should have been aware that Dean Smith. This is year 2 for Dean Smith at Charlotte FC.
Wow.
Exactly.
Well, you know my thoughts on soccer, so
I don't, but we'll. I would love to.
Not a big fan.
I would love to change your opinion of the beautiful game, but we'll save that for another time.
I'm more of a cricket guy, so.
Oh, I like that. We can do cricket too. Cricket's big in Cary. Huge
in Morrisville, yeah, but yes, around this area, a huge. They had I don't know if it still exists, but a couple of years ago they had a minor league cricket franchise located here, and they've got a really, really state-of-the-art cricket ground.
They've had some high level events there. There are also places that my son goes to train for his soccer club here, where we have actually seen them take batsman practice.
Yeah,
it's very crazy. It's absolutely awesome. All right, let me get to. So I want your thoughts on some college football things that we have seen.
Sure.
And we'll also slip into the expanding NCAA basketball tournament. Brett Yormark is, and I think we can assume Jim Phillips will do the same thing, leaning into the 5+11 if we go to 16 teams, and I guess it would be 5+7 if we stay at 12. Do you think Brett Yormark and the ACC, and to an extent Greg Sankey, are right in that this is what it should be?
I think it is because, listen, the argument for the SEC and the Big Ten is if you're good enough, then why limit yourself to those 4 automatic bids? Because you probably could get more if you earn them. And obviously, Yormark and Phillips, the motivation is obvious because you want to get more than 1 or 2 teams in. But I just think it's the way to go because you earn these things. Yeah, you earn it by winning a conference championship. That gets you the automatic bid. But theoretically, if you're one of the next best, 11 teams or whatever, you're going to get in. And so you got to earn your way in. It's not like a gift. I mean, when you start the season and you're the SEC, you figure, okay, all I got to do is finish fourth and I'm in. I mean, what's the incentive? I mean, I think it's the best way to do it. Listen, Adam, I don't think this is going to be an argument here within the next 2 or 3 years anyway, because I think we're trending to a super league, and the SEC, the ACC, the Big Ten, the Big 12 as we know it might exist in title, but not in reality.
Well, I agree with that. I think you and I are on the same page in terms of what the future is for the not just the ACC, but just major college sports. And really, I think what we're talking, I've always thought that football is simply going to just break off from everything else and do their own thing and just leave all the other sports, including basketball. And who knows, maybe we revert back. But can you see a separation?
Yeah, and actually, I think if you look at the settlement with the ACC in the Florida State Clemson lawsuit, and if you read the fine print, they're already setting up for this to happen, because the exit fee for if what that group the Magnificent Seven, or I think it's six or more teams decide they want to leave in one sport. They have a lower exit fee, and they can keep everything else in the ACC. I think that's setting up for when this all happens, when this all comes down. I think it's inevitable that we're going to have a football super league, and I think it'll be best for all the schools, for football, and it'll be best for the NCAA and all the other sports, because now maybe then at that point we can start getting back to some more geographically sound conferences, and we can get back to look, Title IX won't be an issue because you won't have all those football scholarships that you have to even out. And I think that's where we're headed. And I think, you can say who won, who lost in the ACC settlement there. But I think if you look at that, I think the ACC was pretty forward thinking in setting that up that way.
Yeah, I think, look, first of all, how big do you think that Super League would be? How many teams do you think would be in it?
I can't see it being more than maybe 64, but it could be less. It all depends. Listen, it would be great to think that all the brand names are going to go leave and get together. But if you do that, somebody's got to lose games.
Yeah.
No, seriously. So you have to have a few, Vanderbilts and North Carolinas and.
Ooh. Whoa! And wait a second. Why are you throwing UNC under the bus here, Brett?
No,
Bill Belichick ain't here to lose.
Listen, that's the thing about these 18, 20-team conferences. Look at Oklahoma last year, right? I mean, they were a big shot in the Big 12. They go in the SEC. They finished, 8th?
Yeah.
And so, you'd have to have some fodder around, too. Otherwise, there'll be a lot of coaches that are going to be losing jobs because they're brand-name programs, and they're not going to put up with being 3-9.
Brett Friedlander is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show at BFriedACC on Twitter. It's maybe Texas will be immune to the stepping up in class, if you will, from the Big 12 to the SEC. Certainly, Steve Sarkisian has it going to the point where it looks like they're going, at least for the short term, they're going to remain among the elite. But it hasn't gone as well for Oklahoma. And when these teams all got together, these schools all got together, like there's a lot of schools that are used to winning that it's tough to win when you're in a league with LSU, Alabama, Florida,
Georgia.
Tennessee, Georgia, Oklahoma, Texas. And even in your best year, you're probably, in terms of football, probably not getting more than maybe 6 might be an absolute max you'll ever get, but it's probably going to be more along the lines of 4 or 5. Florida used to be, when they under Urban Meyer and under Steve Spurrier, they were always in a national championship fight. And when was the last time that happened?
2 coaches ago?
Yeah, Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
So there's too many schools that, we don't know what the future of Alabama is going to be, to be honest. I mean, what was Alabama before Nick Saban?
And they took a step back last year.
Right. I just don't know. Not everybody can win. So,
no.
if you might need more than 64 teams. You might need 80 teams to balance it all out.
That's the point. And listen, I'm not casting disparage on anybody, but that is what works in NC State's favor and some of these other schools, because they're not what you would call, hot TV properties, but because they need. I don't want to go Washington Generals, but they need competition. Those are the schools that are going to benefit, because otherwise they would have been left out in the cold, right?
Someone's got to lose. Brett Friedlander brings up UNC and NC State, along with Vanderbilt. There you go.
And then Wake Forest can go to the Southern Conference, right?
Man, bring back the SoCon. All right, let me get your thoughts on an expanded NCAA basketball tournament, which is going to happen. There's no doubt in my mind they are going to figure out a way to make this happen, because they wouldn't be talking about it, because it makes no sense, but they're still talking about it, which means they're going to force it through. So is there a way to do it sensibly?
Oh, Adam. Listen, here's the thing, okay? And I'm a get off my lawn old guy.
Yes, I know. That's why I like to talk to you.
And I am just vehemently opposed to messing with it, because it's already. Why do you want to ruin a good thing, right?
Haven't they already?
Well, yeah, I'm getting there. It's sort of like when I was working full time, and the IT people had to change the design of the website just because they have to justify their jobs, even though it's already as good as it's going to get. That's what we're talking about here, and it's basically a money grab, and it's talking about hey, we're going to let the little guys have more opportunities. No, they're not.
Right.
If they add, it's going to be the 10th place team in the SEC and the ACC. It's going to be those big time brand name programs that are just kind of teetering on the edge. But here's the thing: as much as I despise it, and I think that it's going to take a good thing and make it a little bit less good. They said that it was going to be the end of the world when they went from 32 to 48.
Right.
And then from 48 to 64, and then from 64 to 68. It will still be a great tournament. It will still be a fun thing, and it will still be something that captures the imagination. It'll just be a little harder to fill out a bracket, and it will take a little longer, and maybe those first-round games won't quite be as interesting because they won't be, you'll have teams having buys, and the teams that are in it, who cares? But, I don't think it's going to ruin it. But it is going to happen. You're right. Yeah. And I don't think there's anything we can do to stop it, so we might as well get used to it.
There are a whole bunch of really horrible things I could compare that to that I won't. Here's the thing about it, because 64 is about as perfect as you're going to get. Heck, golf tried to copy it with their match play way back in the day before they moved to a different format. Now we don't even have that event anymore. So 64 is perfect. They screwed that up with the first four because of whatever reason. It might have been money at the time. This one isn't going to be money because nobody's going to make more money off of this. The networks don't really want it. If the networks really wanted it, we would be talking about 90, not 72 or 76. The networks are trying to keep this at a minimum because they don't want to really pay more money for it because they feel like they're already paying enough. So if you do 72 and you essentially have the same exact bracket look in all four regions, that's 72. So you would have two 16 versus 16 matchups in every bracket. You would have two 11 seeds or 12 seeds matching up in every other region as well, not just two. And that would at least have uniformity. You could have four games on Tuesday and 4 games on Wednesday, as opposed to 2 Tuesday and 2 Wednesday. And you could basically hide the expansion that way.
And that would be the most painless of the ideas. Yes.
Chances are they won't do that because they're not.
That's not the way they work.
That is absolutely true. They will screw something up if they can. All right, next time we chat, I will make my pitch for you why you are wrong about soccer.
I will listen.
No, you won't. You won't.
Yeah, I will. I'll listen. It won't change my mind, but I'll listen.
Okay. Oh, real quick, because I don't know if you're going to bring your bring a pineapple shirt to Charlotte next week if you just want to come in and loiter. But what would be a question you would ask Jim Phillips 2 weeks from this past Tuesday?
Ooh. Wow, there are so many. So let's see. What would I ask him first? I would ask him who won. who won the settlement? Because he can declare victory here. But wow, because there's the four. Wow, there's the expansion of the tournament. I don't know. That's a really good question. Here's the thing. I got it. I know what I would ask him.
Okay.
I would ask him, how long is Bill Belichick going to last as coach of the U.S.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow. All right. Well, if I speak to him, I'll ask him that question for you.
I might be there. We'll see. That is to be determined. Now, I don't have any particular reason to be there, but I might just show up in an avocado shirt just to say hello to everybody.
Oh, man. You and your avocado shirt will be, if you're not there, you will be missed. Brett Friedlander, my friend, at BFried ACC. He was present for my first night socially as a member of the basketball media.
Cincinnati, NCAA tournament, Maryland versus UC Santa Barbara, and you still had hair back then.
A lot of it.
And so did I.
Yep, a lot of it. I'll tell Chick Hernandez you said hi. Thank you very much, Brett. I appreciate your time.
Anytime, Adam.
Yeah. All right. I hope we get a chance to see Brett down there.
Yeah.
He's like, I texted him like, you're retired, right? He goes, sorta.
Yeah,
sorta. I'm like, yeah, I don't like that. I'm going to bring him back.
Yeah, why not?
Look, I like to think that I am forward thinking about where we are, where we're headed in sports, and the way it all looks, the way it all is structured and all that. But there is an element of old school that we do need, especially in college when we talk about traditions and things like that. So we'll call on Brett often. All right, when we come back, we will stretch. We will place bets. And I was right, by the way, about Djokovic and Sinner.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Djokovic had a lead in the third set.
Yeah.
That's gone. Next.
From the heels,
touchdown, Carolina,
to the canes.
She scores!
He covers it all. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
The North Carolina Healthcare Association invites you to listen to this month's podcast, Conversations on the State of Healthcare. Each year, 3.6 million people in the U.S. delay or skip medical care altogether simply because they can't get to a healthcare provider. From long distances to unreliable public transit to the cost of a tank of gas, it all adds up. LaPonda Edmondson, president of the North Carolina Healthcare Foundation, joins me to talk about how their social impact program is making a difference in Robeson County.
We're investing $900,000 over the course of 3 years in Robeson County. Our aim there is to be able to support these projects that address transportation as a social driver of health.
You can learn more and join our latest Conversations on the State of Healthcare wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, and learn more by visiting nchealthcare.org.
Did you know? Atlantic hurricane season runs through November. From gathering necessary supplies to planning an evacuation route, now is the time to make sure you and your family are prepared. And if a storm damages our electric system, local public power providers are ready to respond and restore power quickly and safely. As a public power customer, you benefit from having an electricity provider that restores power faster than other providers do. Visit electricities.com for storm preparation tips and resources.
Make this your best summer yet by having fun while staying active and engaged. AARP can help. Find AARP events near you by visiting aarp.org/local. That's aarp.org/local to find both in-person and virtual events. You can also learn more about living your best life by listening to AARP Without Limits, wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Ask any college student. If it wasn't for the last minute, lots of assignments wouldn't get done. So if you haven't figured out your plan for college and how to pay for it yet, don't worry, you've still got time. And with the next NC scholarship, you can still get money to pay for most or all of your tuition. To apply, just fill out your FAFSA and you could get $3,000 for community college or $5,000 for public university, and possibly more. See how easy it is to apply at nextncscholarship.org.
If you are on Medicare, scammers may target you to steal your identity. Remember, Medicare will never call you asking for personal details. The NC Department of Insurance Senior Medicare Patrol program is here to protect you from fraud and provide you with knowledge to stay safe. Contact SMP today at ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
From the mountains to the coast, there is tremendous pride in North Carolina agriculture. NC Forever Farms is a program recognizing family farms that are protecting precious working lands vital to the future of agriculture. Through permanent agricultural conservation easements, these NC Forever Farms will always be protected from development. Learn more about preserving family farms through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services by visiting ncadfp.org.
You can be a wildlife hero. Did you know that visiting North Carolina Zoo and Botanical Gardens in Asheboro supports efforts to protect wildlife and wild places? The North Carolina Zoo is a global leader in wildlife conservation, working to save endangered species of both plants and animals, such as elephants, red wolves, and gorillas. Plan a family-friendly day trip to the North Carolina Zoo to learn how you can join the mission to save endangered species from extinction. Learn more at nczoo.org.
This is Adam Gold.
There will be tushes pushed in the NFL in 2025.
Pushing tushes.
There you go.
Happy Hump Day!
That's brilliant.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. Remember at the beginning of the show, I had mentioned that I really wanted to wager on Novak Djokovic because he was plus 200. I mean, how many times you get, one of the best players in the history of the game, still playing at a high level, at 2-1 odds to win a match, no matter who he's playing. And then I just figured, he's going to get run by Jannik Sinner, so why donate the money? Well, 6-3, 6-3. Djokovic was up 3-love in the third set, but Sinner is now up 5-3. He has won 5 consecutive games, although Djokovic just held, or is it's deuce. Djokovic serving at 3-5 in the third set, so it's going to end very soon. Sinner is just on another level. If he can keep his body together, probably beats Alcaraz, I think, on Sunday. He's really playing incredibly well. All right, neither of course are Americans. We will stretch.
Okay, well, if you've somehow missed it, it's Slurpee Day. That's what we've been reminding people of. And there are 7-Elevens in the Triangle, but there's also fun facts about Slurpee Day.
We have fun facts. All
I
right,
had no
let's do
idea. So you can actually go get free Slurpees today. at the 7-Eleven and or Speedway, because Speedway was the one that bought out 7-Eleven, or 7-Eleven bought Speedways. One of the two. But you can get Slurpees at both of them. So they'll honor the Slurpee system. So you can get them there. And if you're a member of 7-Eleven, then not only can you get one today, but you can also get one tomorrow and at the end of the month on the 31st. So treat yourself. And the Slurpee facts, so I had no idea, but this marks the 98th anniversary of 7-Elevens, which opened in 1927. Didn't know that? I just told you that there were some locally here. So
yes.
They've changed their names a few different times. It started out being called Southland Ice Company. Then it was changed to Totem Stores. Then they changed it to 7-Eleven back in 1946 because of the hours being open from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Yeah, except that as long as I can remember, they've always been open 24 hours.
Yeah, about that. So I
were in the New York metropolitan area.
I guess they don't want to call themselves the 24-hour store. But I thought this was funny. It's a happy accident how it came about to even have a Slurpee, because it's a total accident back in 1958 where a soda fountain at Dairy Queen stopped working. The owner of this Dairy Queen decided that they were going to put away the soda in the freezer and he could sell it partially frozen, and that's where Icy came from. No clue. He made the company Icy, and then they worked together to make Slurpees, 7-Elevens. There you go. That's how we have this is how we have our Slurpees now. So, and I thought this was funny because when I asked you what your favorite flavor was, I didn't realize this. They have over 300 flavors, or had, I should say, 300 flavors of Slurpees. I don't know how that's possible, but the most popular in the U.S., Coca-Cola and Wild Cherry.
That's the Wild Cherry is the red.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola was also that was a go-to when I was doing Slurpees, but
yeah.
The blue flavor, whatever that is, fake blue raspberry.
The blue one. I think it's blue raspberry. That's probably a safe assumption. But yeah, those are our favorite. Man, I used to, a kid growing up, have a Wild Cherry Slurpee or Icy with popcorn at the movies. Oh man, that was a perfect combination. So go get yourself some. Also, I did not. I wanted to spare people. I did try to look for a Slurpee bump song, and Bowling for Soup has one. It's awful. I love Bowling for Soup, but I was like, I'm not going to put anyone through this. But 7-Eleven did release a vinyl record with 2 tracks, a whole whopping 2 tracks for Slurpees on there.
Nice.
So if you feel so inclined, you can do that as well while you drink your Slurpees, of course. Or today is not only 7-Eleven Slurpee Day, but it's National French Fry Day. While we're doing rankings for the summer silliness that we do, we should rank French fries, because I'm reading this whole thing. Americans eat, from what this says, the whole country, eat at least 5.6 billion pounds of French fries every year, which is enough to fill 155,833 school buses. So just imagine that. You could fill a lot of cheese wagons with French fries.
You have a favorite French fry?
You know, I like the shoestrings. Shoestrings are good, because it's also good when you put cheese and bacon on them.
See, I don't do those. I don't do those things.
Oh, man, I shouldn't do those things.
Yeah, I don't do those things.
Delicious. So, yeah, do you have a favorite?
Sweet potato fries.
Oh, yeah, sweet potatoes delicious. With honey mustard?
And just,
so good.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah, they say that they broke them all down to the most popular. I did not see North Carolina's most popular French fry, but we've got shoestrings, curly fries, crinkle fries, and waffle fries. The only state that loves a waffle fry is Colorado. It's just too much.
Chick-fil-A has great waffle fries.
They do, but that's not my go-to.
Okay.
I would take an Arby's curly fry over that.
Very
any
good.
Day.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, very good.
Any day. Yeah. Well, if I haven't made you hungry enough, maybe we could be hungry to place some good bets.
Place your bets. Place your bets. Here we are. I bet you slice into the woods $100.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
Okay, you can owe me.
I owe you nothing.
All right, I think I lost all the bets yesterday.
Oh,
By the way, it's over. Sinner beat Djokovic.
Oh, there you go.
Like he stole something.
Yeah, I think my Yankees pick yesterday to beat Seattle with the over 9.5 went through, but I don't want the Yankees.
Did you see what happened though?
No,
they were getting no hit through 7 innings. They were losing 5-0 and being no hit.
Oh wow!
Through 7 innings, came back and won the game.
Wow. Well, hopefully they spent it all because they're playing my Cubbies tonight, and I've got a little friendly bet with our mutual friend of ours, so who's a Yankees fan. So let's go Cubs. I'm going to just take the Cubs because they're underdogs in New York, plus 160.
All right. I am not here Monday.
What?
I am not here Monday. Monday is Home Run Derby.
It is.
In Atlanta. Ronald Acuna Jr., the Brave, in the event. Will he win it? Plus 430. Home Run Derby champion. Look, Cal Raleigh's probably going to win it.
Yeah.
He's plus 300. That's actually pretty good value.
Yeah, it's not bad.
To go with the favorite. But I'll go with the home guy. Acuna's an amazing player.
Yeah.
Amazing player. So I'll root for him in Atlanta. Plus 430.
Oh, nice. Well, tonight we have a trilogy, folks. Boxing. I don't know if you remember, but
I remember boxing.
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, the fight, the co-headliner was Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. Very good boxing match between those ladies. That was the second time they met. Tonight is the third time on Netflix. So, Katie, she's up 2-0, so I don't really know what's in it. Amanda,
Katie Taylor?
Katie Taylor's
That sounds
up
more
2-0.
like a pop star than a...
I know. But Amanda should have won that last one. So, they're going to try again, and I think Amanda's going to do it this time. She's still going to be down 1, even if she does, but she's minus 178. So, give me Amanda to win tonight. It's on Netflix, 8 o'clock.
All right. Club World Cup final Sunday. I think it's going to be a massacre. PSG is going to name their final score against Chelsea. They just did that to Real Madrid. My gosh, what an absolute beat 'em down that was. Desiree Doué will score plus 220. And this. PSG, there's a whole bunch of scoring things. I think the score is going to be like 4-2. Could be 5-2. I think Chelsea will score. So if you like a 4-2 or 5-3 score, you can bet there are score clusters. And on FanDuel, it goes into the any other score is plus 1,000. I like that.
Chapel Hill to Charlotte, Greenville to Greensboro. Your sports, his state. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, Tim Donnelly here with some great news. Win Your Weight in Meat is back on 99.9 The Fan. Text BEEF, B-E-E-F, to 919-860-5326 and enter to be one of our finalists. Through July 18th, we'll pick 10 people to come on air during the drive from 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, and share their weight. Then, on July 21st, we will randomly select one lucky winner, and they will score their weight in meat. Served up by our friends with the NC Beef Council. Beef. It's what's for dinner.
Black isn't just a color. It's the presence of infinite possibilities. It's the moment before everything changes. An invitation to something unforgettable.
I won.
Win up to $4 million with Carolina Black Premier from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.18. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey, Daydreamer. Did we catch you thinking about your dreams? With Wells Fargo Premier, a team can help you plan for them. So let's imagine your biggest dream. Not the easy one, the one behind it. The one you work towards every day and every night. Can you see it? Then we can help you plan for it. Ready to start planning for your dreams? You can at wellsfargo.com/getpremier.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up.
Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone, available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop, but the perfect time for a Bojangles Bird Dog. A seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supremes, dill pickles, and Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all tucked inside a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 bird dogs for just $5 or 2 bird dog combo for just $8.25. Available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
If you see a student being bullied, be supportive. Ask if they're okay and invite them to join you. You'll be an ally and you can make a friend. Friendship! Visit StopBullyingSpeakUp.com and join Cartoon Network to redraw your world without bullying.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to RitchieLaw.com.
Get in the hole!
That's RitchieLaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
They're a championship contender, right? The Knicks said that in their press release when they decided to change coaches, that they felt another coach was needed for this team to get to that championship level. That's what Mike Brown's going to be measured by, right? It's not just good enough to win a round anymore or to maybe even get to the conference finals. Mike Brown's got to get to the NBA finals in year number 1, because otherwise, what do the Knicks change coaches for? Mike Brown, who's now going to be entering the pressure cooker of the number 1 market in the NBA, a demanding fan base, he's not going to have a grace period. It's going to be you win or else.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. Victoria on the 1s and 2s. Welcome to your Friday. I don't agree with that, whatever that was, but that's fine. I have a hard time believing that if Mike Brown, gets the Knicks to the Eastern Conference Finals and they happen to lose, what Brenden Whitted, who was on with us earlier, he thinks Orlando could end up being in the NBA Finals. Like over the course of the year, we're going to have some really good teams emerge, whether it's Orlando, Cleveland, Milwaukee, whomever. Look, we assume Boston's going to have a rough year. No Jason Tatum. They've already sold off some parts. We also assume that Indiana's going to have a rough go without Tyrese Halliburton. So who knows? I mean, the Knicks are good, but I don't know. I watched the Knicks this year, and they looked kind of old and slow to me. So I don't know. I'm not here to hot take everything. We'll see how the year plays out, but I think the Knicks will be in the mix. And I did not mean to rhyme that.
Yeah, unintentional.
I did not mean to rhyme it. We're going to do the roundtable in just a second. We're also going to do the wall of sound here. I saw this story and I thought it was interesting. And actually, it'll get us into the Wall of Sound.
The Wall of Sound is a function of this studio. There's no doubt about it.
So we don't talk a lot about Charlotte FC, right? We're going to air, for those people living, who live in Raleigh, we will be your radio home for Charlotte FC broadcast. Our friend Will Palashik, who does the games, comes on with us frequently. You'll hear his frantic, hysterically good call of Charlotte FC matches. But it's very likely that he will not be calling goals from Patrick Agyemang anymore because he is in the process of completing the medicals and having his contract, essentially, sold to Derby County in the championship, which is the second tier of the English soccer system. The Premier League is the top. The championship is the next level. And he's going to end up playing in England. And Derby County is a good side, good mid-table side in the championship. So he's going to be gone. Now, he's potentially an option for Mauricio Pochettino for the men's national team starting striker position. I don't think he's ultimately going to get it, but he's an option. And Dean Smith, the coach for CFC, is not in favor of the move.
I am surprised. I'll be surprised if he goes to the championship in the UK, as has been reported. But that's just my own personal view.
Why?
I think a team. I think the championship is not too much different from the other. This is a major league over here. You're going to a second league in the UK. There's not going to be loads of time for development because they play Saturday, Tuesday. There's 46 games a season. I think for him to remain one of the big players for the US national team as well, probably to stay here would be better.
That last part is probably true. To be perfectly honest, that last part, if Agyemang's best chance of being the first choice striker for the men's national team at the World Cup probably is to stay in MLS. But two things and Dean Smith knows better because he coached there. He was the head coach for a few sides in England, including Norwich when they were in the Premier League. They're now in the championship. Matter of fact, an American, Josh Sargent, is their starting striker and lead goal scorer. And you know what Josh Sargent earns in the second tier of English football? £1.3 million a year. You know what Patrick Agyemang earns as the top striker for Charlotte FC in MLS? $100,000 a year. £1.3 million is it's like 11 times, almost 12 actually it's more. It's about 12 times what Agyemang earns in Major League Soccer. We don't really have to go any further than that. Haji Wright, who plays at Coventry City in the championship, also in the mix to be a U.S. men's national team member for the World Cup next year, is also a striker. Also earns £1.3 million per year to play in the championship. Ricardo Pepi, who doesn't even start for PSV in the Eredivisie, which is the top league in the Netherlands, earns €2.4 million a year. Those leagues, by the way, are ranked higher than Major League Soccer. The second tier of English football is the seventh, or actually I think it's the 8th ranked league in the world. MLS is like 13th. While I agree with Dean Smith, ultimately, that for Patrick Agyemang, if he wants to be first choice U.S. striker, this is probably where he should be. He'll score more goals here. Especially there's going to be an adjustment period when you go from MLS to the championship. You play a lot more games. You do. You play a lot better teams. You do. There's going to be an adjustment period. If I were him, I would probably do the exact same thing, because at 24, his window to earn a lot of money playing this game isn't going to be around very long. I mean, 24, you are basically starting your prime years. Go get that money. He'll get it in the championship. He might not get 1.3 million pounds, but I'll bet he can at least quadruple his salary, probably more than that, by going to Derby County. The money over there, even if you play in League One in England, you'll make more money than you make in Major League Soccer. That's the real problem. Unless you're Lionel Messi or one of these, I don't even know what they call it. There's a term for the type of player who plays in Major League Soccer. Unless you're one of them, you're not making that much money in Major League Soccer. So, it sucks that CFC is going to lose their best goal scorer. But they actually sold another player who really I don't think was featuring that much, but they sold another player recently. But that's good business, by the way, if you sell, and they're going to sell him to Derby County for about $10 million. That's good business. Now I'll go and invest that in other players, but Major League Soccer needs to deal with their salaries. They're going to have to jack that up to attract better players. You can't compete with the Saudi Pro League, which isn't a good league. Can't compete with them when they're paying, $10 million a year to players. Just can't do it. All right. One more thing. Cooper Flagg had, 12 points or whatever. I think it's maybe 10 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. It was all over the place. Cooper Flagg rates his own performance in a Summer League 87-85 win over the Los Angeles Lakers.
The coaches, they had a lot of confidence in me. They've been telling me they want me to, experiment, try some new things. I was trying to be aggressive. That's new for me too. I would say that might be one of the worst games of my life. And I'm not necessarily worried, but obviously just not happy with how it went. But, at the end of the day, we did get the win.
5 of 21 from the floor, and it just doesn't matter. It was Summer League, but if you watched, and I watched a little bit, and I saw some highlights as well, man, you could see the total game. Now, it wasn't an awesome performance, but there were flashes, and the flashes were awesome. All right, we'll come back on a Friday Roundtable. Our friend Randy Slack from Wilmington and Josh Graham making a return. We'll talk about hoops. We'll talk about the Panthers and an expanded NCAA tournament. Next.
Talking sports, dropping truth. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
Panthers training camp is almost here, and it's finally time, Panthers fans. Go all out to win. The years prior to this, it's about draft picks. It's about playing the younger guys, making sure they get their experience, maybe even above winning games. But this year, all of that changes. Dave Canales, Bryce Young, it's time to win.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
Today is not only Slurpee Day and a Friday, but it's also a holiday. I'm Victoria Vodnecker here for Law Tigers, and you've maybe never heard of it, but today is National Motorcycle Day. It's celebrated every year on the second Friday of July, and it's where motorcyclists and enthusiasts spend the day honoring those who ride and just highlighting the motorcycle industry's positive impact. Now, hopefully the weather holds up today and it stays dry out there, but if it does rain, make sure to be aware of drivers who are not aware of you. This This is really important because a lot of wrecks can happen this way. But in the case that you are in a motorcycle accident that wasn't your fault, remember to always call Law Tigers first before calling your insurance company. At Law Tigers, they're riders too, so they get it. They understand the value of your bike and your gear and the investment that you've made. Case evaluations are always free, and you're not going to pay a dime until your case is settled. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
Third major of the year and the oldest tennis tournament in the world. Wimbledon dates all the way back to 1877 and remains the only Grand Slam that is still played on grass courts. It's known for several key traditions, too. First, there's the all-white dress code for all players. Then there's the Royal Box, a special area located on center court, reserved for VIPs like members of the British royal family. And finally, there's the eating of strawberries and cream, a long-standing tradition symbolizing the beginning of summer. It's estimated that nearly 38.5 tons of strawberries and 7,000 liters of
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Experience legendary craftsmanship with an Omega timepiece. From the iconic Speedmaster that accompanied astronauts to the moon, to the Seamaster, loved by the world's most famous spy, Omega watches capture the spirit of adventure and precision. At Bailey's Fine Jewelry, find a timepiece that matches your story. Discover your Omega at Bailey's today. Voted Best Jeweler. Learn more at baileybox.com.
How about all text? You focus on the road.
As a passenger, you have the power to prevent an accident. There are 1,000 ways to stop a distracted driver. Choose one.
A message from CTIA.
This is Adam Gold.
While I'm watching Colombia-Uruguay, not only the end of that match, but the fight in the stands after it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Heard it got spicy.
That was the most excited fans we have seen in 5 years at Bank of America Stadium. Man, look at all the happy people at Bank of America.
Just took the other kind of football.
Yeah, there you go. More of that.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I am Adam Gold. We have gotten here to a Friday. It is that time where we bring in friends and we bounce some different things around.
Camelot. It's only a model.
Oh, and we've got Josh Graham, whose Baltimore Orioles swept a doubleheader from the New York Mets yesterday.
Wasn't going to bring it up.
So I got no problem with it. 3-1 and 7-3 in the nightcap. Orioles, after a very slow start, look like they've got a little bit of a pulse. Don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, but it's always nice to have a pulse. So that's Josh Graham from Sports Hub Tryout at Josh Graham Radio, and Randy Slack from Wilmington, ESPN Wilmington at our Slack 37, because he's a huge Andrei Svechnikov fan. And I believe, I know he's a Bengals fan. Are you also a Reds fan, Randy?
Oh, brother, I'm a huge Reds fan. I worked the Reds Radio Network with my man Marty Brenneman, UNC grad, for years. Love the Reds. We've never been swept all year. If that's our claim to fame this year, that's okay. because I told my buddy to hammer the Reds win total over, which I think was like 78.5, and I like those chances.
All right, man. I'm a fan of traditional. The Reds. You will agree with this, and Josh, I think you will too. The Cincinnati Reds should open up Major League Baseball's schedule every year at 12:30 because they are the oldest franchise.
Dude, I was in the parade. Like 2 years. It was one of the biggest honors of my life to just drive a station vehicle in there. 100% in agreement with you. It was a lot of fun.
All right, let's get to this. I'm going to start this off with audio for both of you. From ESPN's Unsportsmanlike This Morning, we have Chris Canty throwing some flowers in front of the Carolina Panthers.
Big time boom team, the Carolina Panthers.
Ooh.
Big time boom team. I love what the Carolina Panthers are trying to do around Bryce Young. Big time boom team. Wouldn't be surprised if the Carolina Panthers contend for the NFC South title. We're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning that division 4 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you have Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, you don't win your division 4 years in a row, 5 years in a row. So, yeah, if you're asking me to put money on it today, the Carolina Panthers will win the NFC South.
All right. Josh Graham, is Chris Canty of this planet?
He is, but, man, this is so summer NFL take it hurts.
Dude, it's July.
I know.
The Athletic just ranked college football game rivalry names.
I understand it. Get your lists ready. Let's do the whole thing. But the problem is, I don't think, and this is really directed towards Panther fans specifically, I don't think there's an appreciation for how much larger the gap is between being mediocre, where they've achieved, to being good. It is a larger gap than being hilariously, embarrassingly bad, which they were at the start of last year, to being mediocre. That jump takes some more time. And this is what I'm fearful of with the Chris Cantys of the world and others starting to push this where, hey, you could contend for the division, and fans start believing that that should be an expectation. The problem with that, Adam, is that when they win 7 games, when they win 8, well, when's the last time they won 8 games? I mean, right. 2017 when they made the playoffs, that should be viewed as a positive. And I'm fearful with the expectations getting a little out of whack that we're losing sight that honestly, when you look at some of the moves and some of the conversation, when you read between the lines of what's being said and how this is being positioned, this is a team that looks like it's trending towards 2026 to be doing the things that Chris Canty is describing.
I agree with you. I will say that I think you and I probably have different definitions of mediocre, because I don't believe the Panthers have achieved mediocrity yet.
The last 2 months they were. I mean, you pushed Kansas City, you nearly beat Philadelphia. They were mediocre.
Yeah, the NFL, everybody plays close games. Randy, Chris Canty, do you have a point?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bigger indictment against the NFC South than it is the Panthers actually being good. If they win 8 games, then we're looking at this team in December going, wow, they're sitting at 7 wins and the Bucks have 8. Like, there's a chance they're competing. That's competing. Like, what's competing for a division? They're not competing with the Lions. They're not competing with Philadelphia. They're competing with Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sure, why not? They can compete. Yeah, they're probably the second best team in the worst division in football. What the hell?
If I was going to keep score, Randy would have gotten a point, because that to me is the real story. No, I mean, Josh, you make good points, right? Somebody's got to be. We have to have winners and losers. There are no draws here. This is not soccer, even though I'm a huge soccer fan.
I'm a bad sport.
It's okay. It's all right. You're Arena Sabalenka. She's a bad sport. Here's the thing about for the Panthers is that, look, I'm not going to pick them to win 9 games this year. I think they are more likely a 7-win team.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know. You win a game you're not supposed to win in September, get a little confidence, and all of a sudden, you go beyond Thanksgiving, and you've got 7 wins already, and you're kind of in the mix of it. So, like,
with respect to Chris Canty, since Randy
Right.
Slack was bringing up bets earlier, Vegas knows more than Chris Canty, Adam Gold, Randy Slack, and whomever. And the line is over under 6.5 wins this year for the Panthers.
Like I said,
So
I
7 is
think
actually good in that context.
I think 7 wins would be a good season for them.
Agreed.
But in football, I just watched a highlight. I kid you not. I just watched it. I don't know. Sometimes you're on Twitter on your phone, and all of a sudden, you click on a video, and the video ends, and all of a sudden it gives you another video. So I watched the video of how the Chiefs beat the Browns in a game in which they were basically trying to throw a Hail Mary, couldn't get the pass off. The quarterback is about to be sacked. He laterals it to an offensive lineman who runs like 25 yards to the 40-yard line, and there's a personal foul penalty on Cleveland behind the play. They tack on 15 yards, and Morton Anderson kicks a field goal to win a game. So they didn't even get a pass off on the last play of the game. So weird stuff can happen is all I'm saying.
Your algorithm's wild, Adam.
It's amazing. So it keeps me. That's Elon Musk is a genius. Who says he wasn't a rocket scientist? We'll move on. Ask Grok, but be careful what you ask Grok, because apparently the whole system.
Joe Ward on his cell phone. The next video.
Ask Grok. Don't do it. Just don't. I'm telling you, people, don't ask Grok anything. All right, so I'm going to go to Randy for this one first, because you and I have already communicated about this. The NCAA tournament is going to expand because they wouldn't still be pushing this, even though the networks aren't really in love with it, if they didn't want to expand for whatever reason. Are you pro or con NCAA basketball tournament expansion?
I am pro expansion because we need more teams in because there are so many teams. My biggest concern is the people that are in charge of this stuff want to make this just the Power Conference All-Star Invitational Tournament where only their teams are getting in. The only thing I want to see is teams in sports, and this is shocking to some that run the college athletics. Everybody should have the opportunity to compete for the national championship. And that's all I want to see in college basketball. I just want to make sure that continues to happen. And I don't want to see, the 14th best team in the SEC getting in over potentially mid-major teams that actually were kind of good in their conference.
That happened last year, by the way. 14 SEC teams did make the field. So
I'm sorry, 16 teams then. My bad.
No, what you're saying, though, has been happening over the last several years without expansion, because with the bigger leagues getting better, they have been concentrating more and more of the at-large spots. Josh, your thoughts on that exact question?
Yeah, that's my problem with it. Obviously, in an idyllic world, I agree with what Randy's saying. Yeah, NC D1's grown and by this many teams or whatever. They're not getting the spots that the additional 4 or 8, they're not getting the additional 4 or 8 spots. Those are going to go to, 6th, 7th place teams in the ACC or the Big 12 or whatever it might be. I'm against expansion just because it is unnecessary. Like when other sports expand, like Major League Baseball, their playoffs, or college football, when they eventually expanded or it created a playoff in the first place, it was because, they needed the money and they had television executives and television networks that were willing to throw that cash at them. You kind of alluded to it, but the TV networks aren't really wanting this expansion. The doing of this is insecure conference commissioners that feel that they are being judged, Jim Phillips included, by not having enough teams in the league or in the tournament. ADs that feel that their jobs are being defined by their hires, which are being judged by how often their coaches make it to the tournament, and so on and so forth. That's really what is at the root of this expansion. But what might cost me a point in this competition that means so much to me between me and Randy is I know the job of doing this, talking into a microphone to you, is to have a strong take and defend it to the death.
Right.
And I know I'm supposed to say either this is the worst or the best. If they do, in fact, expand, we're looking at one extra game on Tuesday and Wednesday in Dayton, or a full afternoon session on those days, and I'm going to watch the hell out of those games. And I can't work myself to a place where I feel that this is anything worse than a net negative. This isn't existential. The tournament isn't going to be ruined, anything like that. Anybody who says those things, they're being disingenuous and being dramatic.
I 100% agree with that. Man, I kind of feel a little dirty. But
for agreeing with me?
Yeah, we're going to watch. Now, they could really damage it by over-expanding, but there's a way to expand, even by 4 teams, to create uniformity. I've been talking about this for a number of years. Create uniformity in each bracket. Right now, we've got on Tuesday, where there's a couple of 16s playing for a spot in the main draw, and there's a couple of 11s or 12s on Tuesday. The same thing happens Wednesday. We could have 4 of those games, right? 4 games on each day. 2 16s in every region, 2 11s or 2 12s in every region, playing for the last now 8 spots in the main draw, and all the brackets would look identical, and that would actually almost I could spin that as being more fair.
I also second something on that?
Sure.
Like, I already hear people saying, oh, well, the 16 seeds deserve for winning their conference championship to already be in the field of 64. If you ask these conference commissioners, and I've asked a few of them, or not commissioners, but these ADs of some of these teams for 16 seeds, they like playing in Dayton because they can win that game. And when you win the game in Dayton, you make the same that you would win for winning a first-round game. So, like, it actually helps these smaller schools to be in Dayton and have a game that's more winnable.
There is a financial benefit to playing that game and winning it. I will say this, though. On an emotional level, when you're talking about the NCAA tournament, and the ADs don't talk about it in an emotional way, but if you ask a player playing, and I'll just use if Fairfield played Texas Southern in Dayton on a Tuesday at 6:20. If you lose that game, you don't get the opportunity to play North Carolina in Charlotte at 7:15 on a Thursday. And I would say that for players who play at that, in the Northeast Conference or wherever, there is a romance about being in that game that you don't get. So I understand. Your point is correct, Josh, in that from an administrative and a practical matter, those events do count as NCAA tournament wins. So at least they do get paid. But, man, it's hard to replicate the feeling of that first full day, or day 1 or day 2 is the same, really, but of being in one of those games against one of those programs. So you're right, but there's a romantic part of it that you don't get if you lose that game. Here's what I don't want to see happen, because I know there are people who if you look on Twitter, every time people respond to an expanded NCAA tournament, it's always like, no, we should have all of the regular season champions should get automatic bids and the tournament champions should get automatic bids. And I'm like, you people are dumb.
Yeah.
Right. No offense to it's not even the Colonial anymore. It's the Coastal, right? It's the Coastal Athletic Conference. What happened to the Colonial? Do we hate Colonial? Is there a political thing I should know about? For the CAA,
that's the conference that needed to change its name, not the Atlantic Coast Conference, not the Big Ten.
The Big Ten is the greatest, or Big 12. No, Big 12 is back to 12 teams.
Right. No, we needed to change the CAA.
Right. I know it was very strange, but for these leagues, right? I don't know. It's to me, most people don't want to see those teams in the field. You like those teams on day 1 or day 2, and maybe even day 3 or day 4. But for the most part, we don't want to see them when we get to the regionals.
See, I think you're wrong there.
Oh, I'm not wrong.
If you don't have those teams, you lose all the casuals. You lose the big umbrella.
No, you don't.
Yeah, people
You got him on
care when
day
they
one.
see a
You get
team
him
they
on
don't
day
know.
two, Randy. You get him on day one and day two. That's where the romance is.
Guys, I think I can make an analogy that will
magic.
I think I can make an analogy to say that you're both right. I think I can make an analogy to say you're both right. Do you guys remember William Hung, the American Idol singer from the mid-2000s that sang She Bangs, Ricky Martin, and was awful, and it made the season, but then fan votes had him back for like 3 or 4 weeks? I used to watch American Idol back then, and it got to a point where, this is fun that William Hung's on the show, and this is funny for a few weeks. But then it's like, I don't know if I want to see William Hung playing Duke in round 3. I don't think I want that anymore. I think at a certain point, you want the allure, like he's talking about, the first couple of rounds. And then, maybe I'm fine. Maybe I'm fine with FAU not being here anymore.
Here's the thing.
She bangs.
Randy is right in the first week. Because the tournament, which is why the tournament can never separate from the major schools can never separate from the tournament, because the tournament itself is the selling point. The first, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday, Sunday with the Cinderellas. But once we get to the next week, it's about playing for a national championship, and Loyola of Illinois, Loyola of Chicago. I mean, Sister Jean, there's a limit to how much we can do with Sister Jean. At this point, we want to see the best teams duking it out for a national championship. We don't want to see Cinderella. Now, if you're great, you're great, and you get that far, I'm not going to kick you out because you get there on your merit. But they're not going to let more mid-majors in because of that. Mid-major, we love mid-major, we love Cinderella to a point, and then we want to see the big boys. I
would rather have a good team. I would rather have a good team from a mid-major than a mediocre team from from just a run-of-the-mill name brand league. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I want to give more opportunities to really good mid-major teams. And did you see my FA Cup idea with the state of North Carolina? It will never happen. But it's a great idea to get these teams to play each other.
An FA Cup? Wait, please quickly tell me, because I'm all about it.
Every Division I college basketball team in the state of North Carolina play each other in a tournament. The ACC teams join later in the tournament the way the Premier League would, but this way you get draws, you get fun games where maybe a team like a UNC Charlotte, an ECU, an Elon, a Campbell, a UNCW – potentially is playing a Wake Forest, a Carolina, a Duke. They're playing the name brand teams. You're making it a state thing, a regional thing. There's going to be a little extra juice with it. I think it's a fun thing to do. I think it would be a way to get teams to play each other and make it, golly gee, look at us, the state of North Carolina, the king of basketball.
If you hold it in Greensboro, I'm all for it.
Oh, all right. You get the points for that, Josh. You get all the points for that. Staying on brand always works for you. But yes, here's the thing, Randy. I would expand it. I wouldn't keep it just at Division I. You want to make it FA Cup? You want to make it FA Cup?
Let's go.
Go all the way down to D3.
Winston-Salem State, come on down.
Do it. Do it all. Josh Graham, Randy Slack, that was fun. I appreciate both of you gentlemen. We will do it again soon.
Barton College, come on down.
You haven't had me on in months, Adam Gold. I didn't know. I thought we were beefing for a while.
I was waiting for you to call me to talk Canes.
Shaw University, Wake Tech, come on down.
Yeah, exactly. My phone rings. My phone rings, Randy. All right, man.
Okay.
Gentlemen, take care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Randy's idea. Holy cow, I love Randy's idea. Like, not even kidding. I love it. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll rewind and get you set for your weekend next.
Making more sports sense than social media trolls. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
The North Carolina Healthcare Association invites you to listen to this month's podcast, Conversations on the State of Healthcare. Each year, 3.6 million people in the U.S. delay or skip medical care altogether simply because they can't get to a healthcare provider. From long distances to unreliable public transit to the cost of a tank of gas, it all adds up. LaPonda Edmondson, president of the North Carolina Healthcare Foundation, joins me to talk about how their social impact program is making a difference in Robeson County.
We're investing $900,000 over the course of 3 years in Robeson County. Our aim there is to be able to support these projects that address transportation as a social driver of health.
You can learn more and join our latest Conversations on the State of Healthcare wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, and learn more by visiting nchealthcare.org.
Did you know? Atlantic hurricane season runs through November. From gathering necessary supplies to planning an evacuation route, now is the time to make sure you and your family are prepared. And if a storm damages our electric system, local public power providers are ready to respond and restore power quickly and safely. As a public power customer, you benefit from having an electricity provider that restores power faster than other providers do. Visit electricities.com for storm preparation tips and resources.
Make this your best summer yet by having fun while staying active and engaged. AARP can help. Find AARP events near you by visiting aarp.org/local. That's aarp.org/local to find both in-person and virtual events. You can also learn more about living your best life by listening to AARP Without Limits, wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Ask any college student. If it wasn't for the last minute, lots of assignments wouldn't get done. So if you haven't figured out your plan for college and how to pay for it yet, don't worry, you've still got time. And with the next NC scholarship, you can still get money to pay for most or all of your tuition. To apply, just fill out your FAFSA and you could get $3,000 for community college or $5,000 for public university, and possibly more. See how easy it is to apply at nextncscholarship.org.
Did you know Medicare fraud is costing us $68 billion a year? The NC Department of Insurance Senior Medical Patrol Program's goal is to reduce Medicare fraud, waste, and abuse. If you suspect any billing or Medicare fraud issues, we're here to help. Contact SMP today at ncshIIP.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
North Carolina ranks second in the nation in potential agricultural land lost by the year 2040. The NC Forever Farms program supports the preservation of family farms through permanent agricultural conservation easements and has received a record number of applications for 3 straight years. Landowners interested in preserving their working farm through the Farmland Preservation Division of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services can learn more by visiting ncadfp.org.
Voted best zoo in the nation, North Carolina Zoo and Botanical Gardens is centrally located in the heart of North Carolina. Bring your family to Asheboro for an affordable day trip or weekend excursion to connect with nature and make cherished memories. Discover towering giraffes, pouncing sandcats, and diving seabirds at the world's largest natural habitat zoo. Roam with rhinos on Zoofari or flutter by the exotic butterfly garden during your next visit. Explore more possibilities at nczoo.org.
Gold. Gold.
I'm really excited about next season, considering this was supposed to be a rebuild year. But with these new guys, like Bradley Nadeau, we've got Nikishin coming eventually. If we've got Hall still here, Jackson Blake, I mean, there's so much promise and potential. I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, and just wait till the big kid gets ready to play.
The Adam Gold Show.
It's the Adam Gold Show. I'm Adam Gold. Victoria's on the ones and twos.
This one by special request.
Two?
Just someone on Twitter wanted
desperately want to hear the song?
People can tweet at me. Sometimes people like to make a special request on Twitter, so you can at me. V to the Victoria with some underscores. I'll play it. If it's FCC regulated.
There you go.
That is king.
Who is this song?
Who is it? The Outfield.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is one of the 80s classics. I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's an 80s song.
Yeah.
I heard
I can smell the hairspray.
What Our House in the Middle of Our Street was that that song?
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, who sings that? I'm Googling.
That's not Men Without Hats, that's Safety Dance.
Let's see. It is Winston K. Would have never guessed that by myself.
That is an 80s classic right there.
Yeah.
We were, doing our normal morning routine out in the barn, and that song comes on. I'm like, oh, how cool that is.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely perfect. All right. It's what Come On Eileen is what Dexy's Midnight
big
Runners.
Time.
I get all those songs mixed up.
Big time
All of
80s. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true 80s.
Yeah.
All right, let's rewind. All right. Interspersed in some of this will be some other stuff going on. Brett Friedlander, our friend, joined us to talk a little broad college football topics. And look, ultimately what I hope will come out of the college football playoff expansion, restructuring talk is something sensible. I can't promise that it's going to be sensible, but I hope it will be. And what the Big 12 and the ACC want, and I believe that they are right, is 5 automatic qualifiers plus 11 at-large teams when they expand to 16. I mean, we're not going to do what we really should do, which is probably shrink the field, because that's never going to happen. Heck, we can go to 6. That would be better. But, people like games, and there you go. But what the Big Ten wants is more guarantees, because, people are here to see us. So we need to know that we're going to be in it. The SEC was all about that until the coaches were like, my gosh, we're so much better than them, even though Ohio State just won the national championship, that we could get 6 teams in every year if we leave it more open. I think they're right, but doesn't really matter. So Brett Yormark, the commissioner of the Big 12, is advocating for 5 plus 11. And I wonder if in about 10 days' time, when we convene in Charlotte, not this upcoming Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, will Jim Phillips also advocate for 5 plus 11? And I asked Brett, is that where we should go?
I think it is because, listen, the argument for the SEC and the Big Ten is if you're good enough, then why limit yourself to those 4 automatic bids? Because you probably could get more if you earn them. And obviously, Yormark and Phillips, the motivation is obvious because you want to get more than 1 or 2 teams in. But I just think it's the way to go because you earn these things. Yeah, you earn it by winning a conference championship. That gets you the automatic bid. But theoretically, if you're one of the next best, 11 teams or whatever, you're going to get in. And so you got to earn your way in. It's not like a gift. I mean, when you start the season and you're the SEC, you figure, okay, all I got to do is finish 4th and I'm in. I mean, what's the incentive? I mean, I think it's the best way to do it. Listen, Adam, I don't think this is going to be an argument here within the next 2 or 3 years anyway, because I think we're trending to a super league and, the SEC, the ACC, the Big Ten, the Big 12 as we know it, might exist in title, but not in reality.
Well, Brett and I agree on a lot of things, by the way. I think we can all see the writing on the wall that when we get to 2030, I think the whole world looks different. I really do. And I'm not sure people are going to like it, but we'll all adapt. We'll all adjust to it. I think this is why I've used the example of the more I get into watching soccer around the world, the more I see the connection between the clubs and the communities as I see in college. So, not that you can't be a Carolina fan living in Missouri. You can. Absolutely. But these universities are really about the communities in which they live. And there is an emotional connection in college that we are about to lose. Like, I am not anti-pro. I love pro sports. Pro sports is better than college sports. What pro sports cannot provide, though, is the romance that college sports offers. It's totally different, especially in the United States. It's like, I'm not going to get into the conversation of why Major League Soccer will have a problem forever. It is pro sports. That's what it is. And there's not really an emotional connection in pro. Like, we're all fans. You love the Panthers, Victoria,
Big time.
right?
Yep.
You love the Panthers, but it's different. The owners, they don't really love you.
No.
They just don't. It's corporate. And maybe that's going to change in, like, international soccer as well, but professional sports in the United States is a corporate entity. And it's always going to be that, and that's what college football is about to I think that's what's going to happen in college football. It is simply going to be a pro league attached to college names and colors. And we're just going to, we'll be fine. We'll figure it out. But it's going to be an adjustment period, and that's just where we're headed, I believe. We're not going to have the same conferences and the same allegiances that we had before. I kind of think that kind of sucks. All right, I want to get to a topic. I want to make sure I have time to just bring this up. We'll get back to Brett in a minute. You may recall a year or so ago, the LIV Golf Tour applied for official World Golf Rankings points and were denied. For people who follow golf, you know what LIV is. If you don't, you may recall when IndyCar and CART split. IndyCar used to be more popular than NASCAR. Whether or not the split is the reason that it's not anymore, I don't know. But half of the good drivers went one way, half went the other. They were not competing against each other. I don't believe we have seen a split in attention here. Basically, if you're a professional golf fan, you have pretty much stayed with the PGA Tour, and you have let the LIV guys go. But what happened was, with a vast amount of money, I mean an endless supply of money, LIV Golf bought probably 20 top-level pros and brought them to another tour. That tour plays shorter events, limited fields, no cut, no real way to cycle in or out. And because it is a closed tour, really, I know there are ways in and out, but they're very, very small. Because it is a closed tour, the official World Golf Rankings denied them rankings points. And what that means is that all the players playing there do not earn world rankings points when they are playing those events. If you play in majors or other events, you can earn points. And Bryson DeChambeau is still a top 10 player in the world, even though he's played LIV for now 5 years, 4 years, whatever it is. Because he does well enough, in fact, won the U.S. Open last year, and could have won 2 or 3 others. So he has earned plenty of points without playing on the PGA Tour, or even without playing on other tours. He's basically just done it in his performance in major championships. Brooks Koepka, for a while, was doing the same thing. Well, they've reapplied for World Golf Rankings points. But as the official world golf ranking body, they have asked, they're going to go through a thorough examination of what LIV Golf is. And my question would be, what have you changed? And the answer is nothing. They're offering exactly what they offered 2 years ago when they did this the first time. I don't know how the answer is going to be any different, although I guess it might. I don't know how the answer is going to be any different. Now, all of the major championships have created avenues for players on that tour to qualify for majors. To varying degrees, they've all done that. In fact, you can actually play tournaments on the European tour right now if you're a LIV Golf player. You can go and you can play. There's no ban on playing in those events if you are a European tour player, if you are a LIV Golf player. And a lot of those players will play some events on it's called the DP World Tour. They'll play those events. So they can earn rankings points there. That's the second best tour. LIV is probably the second best tour, but the European Tour is the second best points earning tour in the world behind the PGA Tour. There's nothing close to the PGA Tour. Doesn't mean LIV doesn't have good players. They do have good players. But until they play 4-round events, until there is a cut, until there's actual ways to get on that tour beyond one spot a year, that they're not going to. I'll be stunned if they receive world rankings points. I really will be absolutely stunned if they do. One more thing, and then we'll jump out. And I hate to bring up a serious topic, but I mentioned this earlier, and I want to get into this maybe next week. And this is about you as a parent. And I'm not talking about parenting here. I'm never going to parent your kids. You do that as you see fit. But as a parent of someone who plays competitive youth sports and wants to go play in college, no guarantees that that's ever going to happen, but wants to go play that sport in college, it is mind-blowing how expensive it is. Mind-blowing. There's an article in the New York Times today that says that private equity looks at what is nationally a $40 billion industry.
Wow.
Yes. And wants to get involved. Awesome. The New York Times story talks about what this is likely going to mean is down the road increased prices. I don't want to pay more than I don't want to pay what we pay now.
Yeah.
Like, no joke. If I told you that it's a minimum of $10,000 a year to play at the level that my son is playing at, man, I'd love to have some of that money back.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's not just the club fees. It's all of the travel. It's everything. And it ain't just soccer. It's baseball. It's basketball. It's hockey, golf, all of this. It's gotten out of hand. And private equity is going to make it worse. Have a great weekend, everybody. Victoria, thank you. We'll see everybody next week.
From the heels,
touchdown, Carolina,
to the canes.
She scores!
He covers it all. The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Hey, it's Adam Gold for my friend Gordon Miller. Miller Lending, Kildare Farm Road in Cary. Gordon is the man who invented the no closing cost mortgage back in 1987. They have been on Kildare Farm Road in Cary since 1996, saving me, your neighbors,